That's a great stat there on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Consistency has been tradition with that team.
They need to win this football game because with the Concord's victory this morning, we mentioned a little earlier, if the Ticats lose, Montreal is within one game of the Ticats, and they do play each other in the last game of the season.
Big rush up the middle. Andre Jones almost got there, but Ruoff gets the kick away. And this is Larry Crawford. Crawford brings it straight back up the field to the 53-yard line. That punt traveling 46 yards, and the return of 11 by Larry Crawford. The Lions have good field position.
Still, I really like that. I like it when a back doesn't see an obvious open, and he just goes straight up the field, get as much as you can out of it. 11 yards is a good return any time, rather than running around all over there and giving up yardage. Crawford put him in good field position at the 53-yard line.
Crawford averages 10.4 yards every punt return. That time he got 11. Ray Strong gets away from one tackle in the backfield and gets into the Hamilton 50, 49-yard line. Leo Ezrins, number 72, in on the tackle. Strong seeing the ball more often than John Henry White tonight.
Warner Miles, number 51, coming out here trying to trap Price on the play. They put all of their strength to the left side and came back with that counter action to pick up his 8.
That was Mike Walker, the man that Strong got away from in the backfield. Second and short. Draw to John Henry. He's got the first and more. Leo Ezrin finally brings him down inside the 40-yard line. Lions on the move now. They lead it 3-0.
Take a look at Leo Ezrin's number 72. Of course, formerly with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, he reads past and sees that draw and tries to get back into the play. That's Glenn Leonhard, number 54. He gets rid of, but the gain is substantial, and the Lions have a first down at the Ticat 40.
Sammy Green is the short man. He makes the catch right at the line of scrimmage and then is bounced back. They may give him a gain of about a yard, and that's all. Hamilton Tiger Cats were there, led by Gerald Best, number 14, who's operating tonight with a bit of a hamstring pull. Sammy Green was the club record for the season in total receptions, and he had the club record 12 against Winnipeg in a single game.
That's 74, includes tonight's receptions. He came in the ball game with 71.
Second down and 9 for the Lions. Way over the head of the intended receiver, Sammy Green again. And that'll bring up third down, and we'll see Pasaglia again.
Field goal attempt would come from about the 45-yard line. That's certainly well within Lou's range.
His longest this year is 52.
He's 33 of 43, including tonight.
He leads the CFL in field goals.
We're down to the last 30 seconds of the first quarter, and Luke Pasaglia will try to make it a 6-0 ball game.
45-yard attempt. Got the distance. It is good. Pasaglia is 2 for 2 tonight and gives the BC Lions a 6-0 lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And we have 18 seconds remaining till the end of the first quarter.
You may have noticed John Pankratz coming in there, number 21, holding that football for Lou. That is probably the only action that Pankratz will see tonight. He had that really bad Charlie horse on his thigh.
Lions would dearly love to wrap up first place in this ball game tonight. They want to rest some people for the next couple of games. And of course, if they wrap up first place, they get to host that Western final. We figured Roy DeWalt might get a chance to rest for at least one game. Brock on first down, looking down the middle for Scott Colley. Number 25, incomplete, second down and 10, and that should do it for the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter here at BC Place Stadium, on a pair of Louis Pasaglia field goals, the Lions lead the Tiger Cats, and we'll return with second quarter action in a moment.
Nobody looks at office automation quite like Wang. Other computer companies only see the pieces to the puzzle. Data processing, word processing, personal computing. But Wang looks at how all the pieces fit together and gives you one solution that fits everyone's needs. A total solution no other computer company can match. Bringing everything in your office closer together is is what puts Wang way ahead.
When winter winds start to blow, this is where your heating dollars go. But Stanley Weather Stripping seals in heat, seals windows and doors tight and neat. It's easy with Stanley. Just follow the guide to keep winter out and heating dollars inside. Now get a 30% refund on Stanley packaged hardware, 30% on Stanley Our Best Weather Stripping, 30% on Stanley fasteners. Details at these and other participating stores.
The islands are way to its tropical tan, and Florida's action fits in with your plans. So get away, fly south to the sun. Get away with Air Canada. Get away.
We're back at BC Place Stadium in Vancouver. It's second quarter action with the Hamilton Tiger Cats looking at 2nd and 10 from their own 35. Brock going deep for Cully again, almost picked off again by JoJo Heath. He had one in the first quarter, almost came up with another one there. Brock just shakes his head because he thought he had his man way downfield.
Boy, JoJo times this perfectly and really should have made the catch. Watch it. He is right there. He'd like to have that one back. Ruoff having to kick it away once again for the Ticats.
Ruoff, the leading scorer in the Eastern Division, with 126 points and a very good 48-yard average punting. And he's got a beauty this time. Driving spiral takes Crawford back inside his own 20.
He's got the return on.
Oh, look at this. The BC Lions have always been known for their special teams. They have great speed. And that time, Crawford returns a 57-yard punt, 34 yards. And here it is again. Bernie Ruoff with a good kick at 57.
Boy, does he ever boom that one. Now Vidro will make the tackle eventually, but not until Crawford brings the ball all the way past the 50-yard line for the Lions. Once again, great field position for BC.
First down, Roy DeWalt looking for Ray Strong off his hands. Leo Ezrins providing the coverage. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. First quarter statistics. Hamilton did not get a first down.
Pretty obvious that the Lions really like that underneath stuff. The backs coming out of the backfield or Sammy Green delaying and coming across the formation. It takes pretty courageous receivers, though, to catch those kind of throws, Bill. They're going to take those shots from linebackers.
Defensive guys love to see you coming in there. 2nd down and 10 from the 50. Look at the Strong. He's got him. Just gets into Hamilton territory, the 54. McIntyre is there defensively. It'll be short of the first down. And we'll see Pasaglia to punt. John Priestner, the middle linebacker. The team's leading tackler was also there. Coming into the ball game, Priestner had 91 tackles on the season. Helped with the stop and hold the Lions short of the first.
Interesting story about John Priestner, Dale. You know, he's involved with a company that is promoting the CFL All-Star Game, which will be held right here on December 3rd. John, a third owner of the company that's put it all together.
Right. We look forward to that one, too.
Gamble,
Lions.
3rd down.
Pasaglia pitched it to Ray Strong, and he's inside the 35-yard line. Big play for the BC Lions. They maintain possession, sustain the drive.
You know, Dale, we weren't looking for that, and nobody else was either, including the Hamilton Ticats. Lou Pasaglia went up under the center, just like a quarterback. Strong easily picks up a first down. Great blocking by the BC Lions kicking team, and they move it all the way down to the 32-yard line. Bit of a surprise. Lou's contributing in all kinds of ways now.
He's such a great athlete, too.
He's a fine receiver, Dale. If he wasn't such a good kicker, I'm sure he'd be on some CFL roster as a wide receiver.
Strong was the man that Pasaglia pitched the ball to, and he picked up the first down. He's now out, replaced by Donnie Taylor. Number 19 lining up in the backfield, along with John Henry White. First down Lions from the Hamilton 32. BC leads at 6-0. The draw to John Henry, and that is stopped in the backfield. And that was Mike Walker, number 61, who had a knockdown in the first quarter. And a good, solid hit that time John Henry White for a loss of 3.
Well, he handled one of the strongest guys on that offensive line, too, the Lions. Glenn Leonard, number 54, took him right back into the backfield.
2nd down and 13. Head coach Don Matthews looks on. Pressure on DeWalt. Kreischer gets him from behind. Number 36 has his 4th sack of the year and a further loss on the play. So that'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll see Bisaglia again this time, and I'm sure he'll kick it this time.
Bill, I was looking downfield that time, and Roy had nobody to throw the football to. Sammy Green and Fernandez, the intended receivers on the right side, were extremely well covered. The defensive backs have done a really good job against BC so far. That's Nick Hebler, of course, the great defensive end that's been out for the year. And Don Matthews talked about his ball club yesterday, said that he is now getting the best pass rush since the loss of Hebler. He credits newcomer Ruben Vaughn for that, number 79.
Bisaglia's field goal attempt is wide. It goes into the end zone, and the single point is given up by Howard Fields, number 16. That was a 49-yard attempt, 7-0 in favor of the Lions over the Tiger Cats. And we'll be back to BC Place Stadium in a moment.
The 1984 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. You do more than just drive it. You feel it. Feel the luxury and ride comfort you. The latest technology in front-wheel drive exhilarates you the way only a Cutlass could. The 1984 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra, gas or diesel. Nothing else leaves you feeling quite the same. After all, it's an Oldsmobile.
How was your day, dear?
Terrific.
Fred Fletcher divides his time around work, the local kids, and his family. As his London life agent, I spend my time with other important things, like his financial planning.
We have a trophy for you, Mr. Fletcher. You're the greatest.
I can design a sound financial plan for you, the way I did for Fred. Your plan may not be like his, though, because at London Life, we feel every life is something special.
11:57 remaining in the second quarter, and the BC Lions have the lead thanks to Louis Bisaglia with 2 field goals and a single point. On a missed field goal, Hamilton still looking for their initial first down of the ball game. 1st and 10 for Hamilton at the line of scrimmage on the missed field goal, the 42-yard line. Again, Brock drops into that shotgun formation. He used it a fair number of times already in this ball game. Inside pitch to Johnny Shepard. Trying to turn the corner. Shepard is hit hard as he crosses the 45 and falls forward to near the 48-yard line. Kevin Konar, number 31, was there, and so was Parker. Konar slightly shaken up along with Parker. Shepard just bounces right back up and hits the huddle.
Well, I'll tell you, Konar was not fooled on the play. He's number 31, but Shepard just outran him coming around that right side. I think the Lions kind of knocked each other around there as much as they did Shepard. Take a look at Parker now. He comes up from that corner position.
Gain of close to 6 yards. 2nd down, about 4. Brock quickly into the middle. DiPietro could not hang on to it. He would have had the first down, but unfortunately for him, last year's Canadian Player of the Year and the winner of the Shenley, Rocky DiPietro unable to hold on, and Bernie Ruoff will punt.
Still not a perfect throw to Rocky by Dieter, but certainly a catchable football. Dieter has not had a great night here again at BC Place. As we mentioned, his first appearance here with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers was, in his mind, the worst game he's played in the Canadian Football League.
Ruoff hangs this one high. Larry Crawford at the 15. This time, the Hamilton coverage team has a much better opportunity to get down there and stop the return. We have 10:42 remaining second quarter. 7-0 BC. We'll be back in a moment.
Some time ago, Michelin engineers set out to develop a really durable, all-season radio that wouldn't compromise Michelin's standards. We said no. No. And no. And no again. Until we were satisfied. Finally, an all-season radio that stands up. the remarkable new Michelin XA4. Michelin standards make all the difference.
You've rehearsed it 1,000 times, yet it's never the same way twice. But right from the first time you played, you knew you had found your game. And right from the first time you tried OV, we'll bet you had found your beer.
That's why you just say OV for that great tasting beer. OV, OV, oh yeah, you can say it OV.
Larry Crawford down on one knee at the sidelines now at the BC bench after returning that last punt of Ruoff's 10 yards. It was a 47-yard kick. Earlier, Ruoff kicked one 57 yards, and Crawford brought it back 34. This time, of course, Ruoff really hung it up there high and gave his coverage team a much better opportunity to get downfield. Right now, it's BC's ball. Lloyd Walden, 1st and 10 from their own 26. Walt's in trouble, and he goes down right at the 25-yard line. He may lose a yard on the play. Mike Walker, number 61, was there for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Also, Mitchell Price, number 65, the defensive end. Walt, of course, an excellent runner, actually drafted by the NFL as a running back, 6'2", 210. 4-year veteran of the BC Lions out of Texas Arlington. Coming into the ball game, passing at a 60% clip, leading the CFL in that category. He's looking at 2nd and 11 now for the 25. Good downfield coverage by the Tiger Cats. This one was intended for Ray Strong. Almost made a good catch, but it goes incomplete 3rd down.
Dale, the Ticats continue to do an excellent job of coverage on the BC Lion defenders, or receivers, I should say. Strong does manage to get open to the inside of Leo Esmond's number 72. It was not a bad throw, but he couldn't handle it. 9:52 remains now. The Hamilton Ticats will get possession, and they're still looking for their first down.
Hasn't been a great night for either offense so far. Bagley has a good kick this time. Driving Howard Fields back to his own 30. He stumbles and goes down on his own at about the 38-yard line. That's a 55-yard kick that time by Passaglia and a return of 8. So Dieter Brock and the Hamilton offense come back on the field. And they're still looking to get a drive going here tonight.
Yeah, that's the 2nd or 3rd time now we've seen ball players with a little bit of trouble footing-wise on this polygrass turf. It's kind of a surprising factor in the ball game when you're playing indoors.
Frank and Dale will have to watch now. Coach Al Bruno just had a moment ago had a full offensive meeting. He's not too happy with the way the offense is going.
I don't imagine he is. There's no first downs yet. Shepard trying the right side of that line, following the blocking of Jeff Harp and Marv Alamang. Shepard takes it out to the 43. That's a gain of 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. How comfortable is it in here, Al?
Say again, please.
I was just asking how comfortable you are tonight.
Oh, it's just a gorgeous feeling, gentlemen.
I think you're getting spoiled down there, Al.
Enjoy it tonight, Al. We go to Taylor Field next weekend.
That's right.
Brock wants to go long for Ron Johnson. Parker's in position, and he makes the interception. Kerry Parker has his 6th interception of the year and the 2nd tonight for the BC Lions. JoJo Heath had one earlier.
Adele, he played the football absolutely perfect, but from a Ticat point of view, this is as good as the punt.
Yes, it is.
That ball traveled about 45 yards in the air, and Parker had no chance to stop from going out of bounds. The ball, as you can see, overthrown by 3 or 4 yards, but good defense by Parker. Lions take over on their own 21-yard line, and a game filled with turnovers.
It may be as good as a punt, Frank, but Hamilton defense has been on the field a long time in this first half.
Certainly have. Not much offense by either ball club, as you can see.
First down, BC from their own 21. Mervyn Fernandez. Gerald Best gave him a real big cushion, and he has the first down at the 35.
Well, I'll tell you, you're absolutely right, Dale. Best was off a good 10 yards on Fernandez when that football was thrown. There's a good picture. Best down at the bottom of your screen, number 14. Excellent shot by our ISO director, Freddie Fleming, to pick up that pass coverage by the Hamilton Ticats, and you can see just how far they laid off Fernandez.
7:40 remaining until halftime. Quickly goes to Fernandez again, wants him to make a move. He does, and if he would have stayed on his feet, he could have gone a long, long way, but he's tripped up at about the 48 is enough for a first down.
I don't know if you saw it, Dale, but he also had John Henry White down in front of him. That will eliminate one defender.
And there was only one left after he got past Best.
You'll see John Henry coming to the right side of your screen, I believe, number 20. He was ready to lay somebody low for Fernandez.
Mark Young was the man that White was making the block on. Fernandez goes down at the 48. It is 1st and 10. Sammy Green, penalty marker. Green is caught in the backfield. Nowhere to go as Howard Fields, number 16, was there for the Tiger Cats defensively.
Motion against the BC Lions. It probably will not be accepted as the loss on the completed pass was about 5 yards.
Columbia, no end, decline.
See that happen so often.
That can kind of hurt you when you throw that little hitch or screen pass to the outside. You got no offensive end to get out there and try to help him.
So it's 2nd down and 15 yards to go. They take the loss on the play, not the penalty. Walt with the throwback looking for DeBries. He's got him, and the ball pops loose. Fields has got it for Hamilton. They're going to rule this one a fumble and a recovery by the Tiger Cats in good field position at the BC 42-yard line. DeBries making the catch. Took a good pop, and it's Hamilton's ball thanks to Howard Fields. 7-0. BC leads it. We'll be right back.
Introducing the ColecoVision Roller Controller. With it, your vision expands. Now, speed all over the screen. Fire up or down. It comes with Slither as a bonus. But the excitement doesn't stop there. It makes arcade games like Pepper even peppier. Spaceships travel at the speed of light, and apes go ape. Expand your vision with the Roller Controller. Because your vision is our vision. ColecoVision.
If your bank loses time managing your business account, you lose money. To manage your company's funds more profitably, your balances must never be idle. Open a Continental Business Management account, and we'll manage your funds electronically, so you earn daily interest and pay down your operating line automatically. At Continental Bank, your money is always in action. Continental Bank of Canada. Bankers in action.
Good alert play by Howard Fields on that fumble recovery. Howard, you knocked the ball loose and then scooped it up, eh?
Yeah, we were in a deep 4 zone, and they couldn't read it, so I just played the man, and I jammed him, and he fumbled the ball, and I picked it up.
Said your defense is playing awfully well tonight. You're just going to have to get your offense going.
Yeah, they'll get coming. They'll come. We got to do the Brock. He'll come.
Okay, Howard.
All right, thanks.
That is the 5th fumble recovery this year by Howard Fields. He leads the CFL in that category. Teams are even up in turnovers. The Lions lead at 7-0. 2 field goals and a single by Pasaglia, but Hamilton and the BC side of the football field, and Dieter Brock's in trouble. He fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Andre Jones, number 32, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. He will score as he falls backwards into the end zone.
You know, Dale, somebody out there lost their shoe. I thought it was a flag. It is not.
65-yard fumble return, the longest of the year. Andre Jones gets the first touchdown of the ball game.
And let's give credit to Mac Moore, because he's the guy that got out there and put the hit on Dieter Brock, causing the fumble. Watch Moore, number 78, head up on the offensive center. Wadchuk. Dieter is not going to hurt you rolling away from you. And Big Mac Moore runs him down and strips him of the football. A nice BC Lion bounce, and Andre handled that thing like it was a balloon or something, just tapped it up in the air. Quite a good move on Shepard right there. And the Lions defense now outscored their offense. That's a nice way to go into the end zone.
Like that ball, Andre Jones joined the Lions in mid-August after he was released by Saskatchewan. Passaglia converts it. A 14-0 ball game in favor of the Lions with 6:07 remaining in the second quarter. 65-yard fumble return for the touchdown by Andre Jones. He's out of the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, 6'1", 205. Here's another look at the move he put on Johnny Shepard and the move he put on himself at the goal line as he fell into the end zone.
You know, he had to put that move on Shepard because Shepard will run him down, no question about that. Take a look at it once again. Shepard's got that great speed. Andre's not slow, but Shepard certainly would have caught him had he not made this great move.
Perfect bounce right to Andre Jones. Did a good job of scooping it up with his left hand. Right. Spike that ball. Passaglia to kick off. Quickly, the Lions are now in front 14-0. No offensive touchdowns so far tonight. Johnny Shepard on the return. Parker is the man that Johnny Shepard tries to go around, and Parker just puts them out of bounds, and then Nelson Martin draws a flag. As he hit him when he was out of bounds, a 27-yard return, and they'll tack on more yardage.
That's a good call.
The rule is you do not make contact with that player when he is out of bounds.
It was pretty obvious. It was very obvious that Shepard was going out of bounds with the momentum after being shoved the first time, and this will give the Ticats great field position for a change. They're on 53-yard line. We have 5:58 remaining in the second quarter.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 4, British Columbia. First down.
And the offenseless Hamilton Ticats have the football once again.
First down from their own 53. Peter Brock wants to get something going soon. Swings it out here to Bragagnola, number 22. Stopped by Glenn Jackson and Tyrone Cruz at the BC 53. And that's a gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6. Bragagnola with his second catch of the evening. He's in his third year with the Tiger Cats. Graduate of the University of Toronto. 28 years of age. Rookie head coach Don Matthews. Walker takes over with his offensive charges. Roy DeWalt is receivers. Brock looks one way, goes back to the far side for Ron Johnson, and he's got him, and a first down as Johnson just pushes the defender back to the 40-yard line. Andre Jones was the man over there for the Lions defensively.
Good thing he was there, too, because he got away from the tackler, JoJo Heath. That is the first down, Dale, is it?
I think so. Other than by a penalty when they picked up one earlier. First time the offense has moved the yardsticks. Almost picked off by Glenn Jackson as Dieter Brock took a hit from Mac Moore.
That ball definitely got away from Dieter. Thrown about 10 yards too far to the inside of the field. Look at the great job Mac Moore does of getting away from Washuk. I guess it was actually Moore's hand on Dieter's arm that caused the play. It was not a slip by Dieter. Second and 10 now.
Only 5 completions for Brock so far tonight. Looking for Shepard. He's got him, and Mary Crawford is there. And he hits Shepard as soon as he made the reception, and it's a gain of maybe 2-3 yards on the play. It brings up third down, and we'll see Bernie Ruoff with a field goal attempt now. First opportunity he's had to try a field goal tonight. And it'll be about a 45-yarder. His longest this year is 50.
Dale, I know that the Hamilton Ticats have a big field goal in their portfolio, but the Lions also look like they're well aware of that. They're putting only one man back, Larry Crawford.
Jeff Tedford, the backup quarterback, holding for Ruoff, and he hits it from 45 yards out, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats are finally on the scoreboard with 4:06 remaining until halftime. They trail now by 11. Bernie Ruoff's 26th field goal of the year. That gives him 129 points on the season. Tops in the Eastern Division. And the Lions will get the Hamilton Tiger Cats to kick off following the successful field goal. Hamilton coming into the ball game 5-8 for 10 points, just 2 points up on the Montreal Concorde, who have a 4-10 record, 8 points, including today's victory over the Calgary Stampeders, 27-8. Let's go to Al.
But here's the guy who made the big play just a moment ago, Andre Jones. Andre, congratulations. Tell me about that play.
Well, I guess it was just a hands-up play. The guy was either was running the ball over here. It just happened to pop out of his hand, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
You guys seem to have Dieter Brock's number. He can't operate here in BC Place.
Oh, yeah, we put a lot of pressure on him, and all we got to do is just play hands-up ball, Just play like we practiced this week, and we'll come out on top.
Congratulations. Big play.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Touchdown by Andre Jones. The kickoff now by Bernie Ruoff following his 45-yard field goal. And this is Ray Strong on the return, number 34. And only his second game for the Lions. He's replacing Larry Jones. And Strong gets it out to the 40, a return of 17. Al Bruno, the new head coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, in his second game, his debut last week, a success as the Tiger Cats defeated the Saskatchewan Roughriders 34-22. Played with the Toronto Argonauts back in 1952, and Toronto won the Grey Cup. He also played with Winnipeg. Was a head coach for a while, the London Lords senior team back in 58-60.
Now, Dale, I know you're extremely well prepared. What year was he the leading receiver in the CFL?
As you look at Sammy Green, the BC Lions leading receiver, picking up a first down.
Did I get you?
You got me. What
it was
year?
that same year, 1952.
I was going to say that, but I was only going to be guessing. Here's another look at Roy DeWalt going to Sammy Green for the first down.
Sammy's 5th reception, I believe, tonight. The first one that really has been thrown downfield for any significant yardage. They like to get Sammy the ball at least 6 to 10 times a ball game because he really can create some excitement with it.
He got 20 yards that time. First down from the Hamilton 49. DeWalt completes it to John Henry White. Then he dropped it. Back on his feet and almost got back to the original line of scrimmage.
I don't remember ever seeing a ball caught flat on his back, but that's exactly what John Henry White did. It's 14-3, the Lions winning. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment.
Hey, Canada.
Welcome to Miller Time. Now through here, it's yours and mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Canada. Welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
Miller High Life, now available at regular beer prices. Canada, welcome to Miller Time.
Canadian football stars are under the dome in an East versus West matchup. See All-Star Football on CTV Saturday, December 3rd.
All right, Brian, let's take another look at this completion to John Henry White.
John very alertly gets up and tries to move with the football, but the net result is a 1-yard loss. All that helped was Roy DeWalt's passing percentage.
Second down and 11 for the Lions. They're now back at the 51-yard line. 2:50 remaining until halftime. Lions lead the Hamilton Tiger Cats 14-3. The only touchdown tonight was a fumble return by Andre Jones for a major score. Blitz on DeWalt. He is hit hard and dropped back at the BC 49-yard line. I believe it was Felix Wright, number 28. The halfback blitz, and he came through untouched.
That's exactly who it was. You'll see him coming from DeWalt's blind side. But once again, he had time to throw that football. Just excellent coverage by the defensive backs of the Ticats. Lou will have to kick it away now with just 2:30 remaining in this first half. It's a 14-3 ball game. And it has been a mistake-filled first half.
That it has. The Lions started this drive alongside of midfield. They got to the Hamilton 49. Now they're third down and 20 from their own 49. Don Vetro on the return. Number 27 brings it back out to the Hamilton 32-yard line. It's the first time tonight that we have seen Don Vetro touch the football. In his first year with the Tiger Cats, he's out of Wilfrid Laurier, 5'10", 183. Played with Montreal previously. And the Tiger Cats under the guidance of Dieter Brock, a first down from their own 32. Look at our location here in this beautiful stadium.
Enjoyable place to work, isn't it?
Right, it's tough. Mark Bragignola, number 22, with the handoff from Brock, gets out across the 35, 36-yard line, pinned there by Kevin Konar, number 31. Rick Klassen, number 60, was in on the tackle as well. It's second down and about 6 yards to go for the Tiger Cats.
I was mentioning, Dale, that Dieter is still not real popular with some folks in the Canadian Football League.
Bragignola, he has the first down, runs right into Larry Crawford, then Kevin Konar moves over to put the stop on him. They'll spot it at the 48-yard line, first and 10 Hamilton. We have 1:50 remaining in the second quarter. We have the Lions here tonight going for first place in the West. Tomorrow afternoon on CTV, it's Ottawa, Toronto. The Argos will be going to clinch first place in the East in that one. Brock to Bragignola. He wasn't ready for it. Oh, it's a lateral. Parker picks it up and takes it into the end zone. Now, Brock is not happy with this ball.
Well, I don't know, Gil. I thought he threw the ball forward. We're going to have to look at that again. They are awarding the BC Lions.
The Hamilton bench is just incensed over that call. It is a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
A heads-up play by Terry Parker. He went after it.
Absolutely right, Dale. Why not?
You might not be able to tell from this angle. It's hard to say.
Well, I don't know. That ball may well have been thrown backward. I'm just trying to note where Brock was and where the ball came
Al
down.
Bruno is out on the field. He's the man in the yellow sweater.
I don't know if we're going to have another shot at it from another angle, but
unfortunately not. So Terry Parker is credited with the touchdown as he scoops up that loose football and runs it in for the major score. That's the second defensive touchdown that Terry Parker has scored this year. And boy, the Lions are noted for that. And that's twice tonight they've picked up fumbles and taken them in.
This has been a very opportunistic type of football club all year long, Dale.
They have now scored 6 defensive touchdowns.
A delay of game penalty on the extra point attempt. That will be absolutely meaningless. If Lou hits the ball at 5 yards, won't make any difference.
Frank, it was an intentional delay of game. They were one player short, and they were allowing him to get in.
Thanks, Al.
5 British Columbia. 100 attempts repeated.
Well, neither team has had a lot of offense tonight, but the BC Lions have certainly had a lot of defense.
That's absolutely right.
Parker talking with Nick Hebler, who only appeared in 5 games this year before being forced out of action with a season-ending knee injury. Here's the Sager's attempt. It is good, and it's a 21-3 ball game now in favor of the Lions with 1.5 minutes remaining until halftime.
Yeah, when we pick our Cardinal O'Keefe game stars, I think the defense
the offense
candidates are going to be plentiful, but who would you pick on offense? Got to get Lou Persaglia kicking the football at this point in time. Dieter, just a disaster.
Dieter must be saying not again.
Once again at BC Place.
First game out here when he was with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, intercepted 5 times. Things not that much different tonight. Al Bruno talking with the head referee, Jim Hope-Ross. He is very upset over that call.
Somehow Bragignola coming out of that backfield, who was the intended receiver, did not know the ball was coming his way or was not ready for it in any event. Al is very upset on the sideline, obviously.
Don Priestner picks it up at the 25. Priestner wraps both arms around it and is stopped at the 33-yard line by Kevin Konar. And also downfield for the BC Lions, Gerald Roper, number 65. 21-3, the BC Lions leading the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Crazy George has now got the fans going section by section here at BC Place Stadium. A crowd of 40,000 plus tonight. As you can see,
he gets them making noise, Jeff, I'll tell you. They sound like about 100,000 when he gets them going.
All the way around the stadium they go. First down, Hamilton. 33-yard line. Brock to Johnson. Play was a little slow in developing, and he only picked up about 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. There just weren't any blockers out there in a big hurry. Unable to get much of an opening for him.
This crowd can be very disruptive to opposing quarterbacks trying to change the play at the line of scrimmage. But boy, they have fun. They've got a great facility here, and these people know it and appreciate it.
From the shotgun on second down and 6, Klassen with pressure. The center screen to Johnny Shepard goes incomplete. That'll bring up third down, and the Hamilton punting unit comes in. These fans just keep on having a good time. BC Lion defense will get a hand after this punt because they have scored the last 3 touchdowns for the BC Lions. Last week in Calgary, and 2 of them here tonight. Off the side of Bernie Ruoff's foot, Larry Crawford moves in front of JoJo Heath to take it. Crawford out to the 44-yard line. 37-yard kick and a return of 11. And we have 51 seconds remaining until the intermission. 21-3 in favor of the Lions. Crawford and Heath, the main return men for the BC Lions. Part of a very exciting defensive secondary. JoJo Heath, Mel Bird, Nelson Martin, Larry Crawford, Terry Parker. Andre Jones tonight has had his moment as well, returning loose football for a touchdown. This is Ray Strong on first down. Strong has a gain of maybe 4 yards on the play. He got out to about the 47, 48. Low getting up is Mike Barker, number 66 of the Tiger Cats. He's now back on his feet. Second down and 6. Clock is running. 35 seconds remaining until halftime. The ball hit by Covington as he got rid of the ball, and Mervyn Fernandez came back to make the catch at the Hamilton 52.
DeWalt is down on the field.
Larry Crawford. DeWalt took a hit from Grover Covington just as he was releasing that football, and he had that front leg planted, Frank.
He does not look good. Joe Paopao, the backup quarterback for the Lions, warming up on the sideline. Joe has seen very limited action in the last month and a half. As Roy's enjoyed his finest year as a BC Lions quarterback.
27 seconds left till the end of the second quarter, and here's a look at it. Watch Covington coming from your left. He gets down low.
You can see that left leg being taken out from under DeWalt. That would appear to be his problem. Covington came into this ball game with 8 sacks. Opposing quarterbacks leading the Ticats in that department. He's big number 77.
Was a star of the week for his performances with 3 quarterback sacks last week against Saskatchewan.
Very definitely would appear to have twisted Roy's left leg.
Joe Paopao warming up. Paopao hasn't seen a lot of action this year. In fact, he hasn't even thrown the ball 100 times in the regular season. Playing out his option here in BC.
21-3 in a ball game that has seen constant turnovers by both football clubs, with the Lions scoring 2 defensive touchdowns in this second quarter and playing an excellent job defensively against the Ticats as Dieter Brock continues to have his problems here at BC Place. Roy DeWalt, of course, the Lions nominee for the Outstanding Player in the Cenny Award balloting. Let's go down to Al McCann.
Okay, Frank, I got Kerry Parker, who made that very alert play for a touchdown carry. It seemed like you were the only guy who knew it was a live ball.
Well, you know, it's an automatic reaction with me. If it's a dead ball or not, I wait until the official call it dead, and it just so happened that it was a live ball, and I was in the right place at the right time.
I'll tell you, You can't say enough about your football team. You manufacture points, be it offense or defense. You manufacture points.
Well, that's what the game is all about, scoring points, and it really doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense. We're just glad that we're able to do it and capable of doing it offensively as well as defensively.
Well, it looks like you're pretty well on the way to clinching first place.
Hopefully.
Joe Paopao is intercepted by Felix Wright, and he'll take it all the way for the score. Joe Paopao just came in to replace Roy DeWalt, and right away he is intercepted trying to throw the out pattern, and that is the third defensive touchdown of the evening, Frank.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate from Joe Paopao's point of view because he is not a popular individual here at BC Place or in Vancouver. The fans just don't feel he can get the job done, and to come in and have that happen to you right off the bat.
Wow, 61-yard return by Felix Wright for the major score. And now Bernie Ruoff is in to convert it. Wright, the second-year man out of Drake, intercepting Paopao's initial pass of the ball game. 9 seconds remaining until halftime. Tedford holding for Ruoff. It's now a 21-10 ball game. Defense is dominating this one tonight, and we have a little discussion going on following the conversion attempt down at the BC 5-yard line.
We still have 9 seconds remaining in the first half of this ball game. Temper's starting to flare as you look at Roy DeWalt and the training staff try to figure out just how badly off he is. Let's go down to Al and see if he's got a report for us.
Well, Frank, Roy's got some pain. The doctors and, of course, trainer Bill Rochelle are checking that left knee. They are pressing it. He was wincing. They'll give it a good look at during the halftime intermission, and hopefully Roy can get back in the ball game.
Do we look for the short kickoff here?
Bill, I don't really think so with just 9 seconds remaining. It may be a short kickoff, but I don't think it's going to be one that the Ticats are trying to recover. I'm just going to make sure that BC can't do much with it.
Drills it along the ground and goes right to one of their linemen. I believe it's Warner Miles, number 51, on the return, and he gets it back up to about the 47. That's who it is, Warner Miles, first-year player out of the University of Ottawa. Joe Paopao is greeted with some more boos as you see the ice pack applied to Roy DeWalt's knee, and with 4 seconds remaining, Paopao's instructions now are just to get this first half over with.
I'm sure Joe would like to get it over with as well. Only time for one play.
47-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Lions. They lead it 21-10. Everybody in tight. Paopao just ground the football, and he gets a tremendous hand from the fans for doing that. And he'll have to do it once more. We have 3 seconds left. That only took 1 second. Sammy Green started to head for the locker room. He's called back.
So did Al Bruno and the rest of the Hamilton Ticats.
This will be the final play of the opening half here at BC Place Stadium, and it's been a strange one. Neither offense has been able to do much of anything, and the defenses have done all the scoring, except for the first 7 points that Louis Pasaglia put on the board and gave the Lions a 7-0 lead. Then the defenses took over, scoring 3 defensive touchdowns. 21-10 is the score at halftime as the two teams head to the locker room in a game that the Lions want to win for first place.
We'll have more CFL action right after this CTV News Update. Here's Richard Brown.
Good evening. Across Canada, across Europe, and across the rest of the world, it's been a day of protest against the nuclear confrontation. Thousands of people turned out with a message to the nuclear superpowers. Step back from the brink. At home, Toronto staged the biggest demonstration today. More than 18,000 people marched in opposition to the arms race and the proposed cruise missile tests. In Ottawa, more than 6,000 protesters gathered on Parliament Hill there, but organizers had hoped for 4 times that number. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, more than 10,000 people took part in a march and rally, but this was a big drop from the 60,000 who demonstrated against nuclear weapons there last spring. There were far more massive protests today in Western Europe, where the U.S. cruise and Pershing II missiles are due to be deployed next month. In West Germany, an estimated 1 million people marched through the main cities. Their banners and slogans demanded the NATO missile deployment be canceled. And they echoed fears that West Germany might be the first battlefield if a nuclear war is fought. And in London, 250,000 protesters blocked the inner city in a march to Hyde Park. There have been protests in most U.S. cities as well today. They began last night in New York, where a human chain 22 blocks long linked the U.S. and Soviet missions to the UN. Today, as the protests continued, President Reagan defended the U.S. missile buildup. It was to defend peace, he said, in the face of Soviet arms escalation. The Canadian High Commissioner to Grenada says the Canadians who are left on the island will be airlifted out on Monday. The evacuation is being ordered at the request of the 19 Canadians still on Grenada. Leaders of the Caribbean nations met today in Port of Spain, Trinidad, to discuss sanctions against the new government in Grenada and possible military action. Meanwhile, an American task force of 2,000 men is sailing to Grenada tonight in a show of force to protect the estimated 1,000 Americans on the island. We'll have these and other stories on the CTV National News after the football game. But first, yesterday in the CFL with Bill Frank.
The Tiger is back. The Uniroyal Tiger Paw Steel Radial is back with 4 seasons performance. Back to run in the heat and the cold, the dry and the wet, the rain and the snow. Back for 12 months of awesome traction, year upon year. See Uniroyal for the new 12-month Tiger Paw Plus for all seasons steel radials. These are the years of the Tiger.
The kangaroo, the kangaroo, save the baby, get to the top. The kangaroo hop, you're in luck as you can jump or duck. Just hop, hop, hop to the top, top, top. Watch out a monkey, eat a piece of fruit. Atari kangaroo, everybody's salute.
Kangaroo, the hot new arcade game from Atari.
Made by Waltech, eh? Well, that means quality. Waltech. Waltech. Think I'll change from regular spray to pulsating massage. Now that's a shower. Waltech Industries, serving Canadians with quality plumbing products since 1905. Waltech, truly a step beyond.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
Roger Moore is Agent 007, and he's back in action November 13th.
They called him the head hog, and during a 15-year career in the front pit, this great offensive tackle earned a reputation as one of the toughest in the league. He was big, strong, and aggressive. He led BC, Toronto, and Winnipeg offensive lines for many seasons. We'll meet him today as Carling O'Keefe Sports presents Yesterday in the CFL.
You'd give anything just to take a breather. But you know you'd be giving too much to the other team. But right from the first time you played, you knew you had found your game. And right from the first time you tried OB, we'll bet you had found your beer.
That's why you just say OB for that great tasting beer. OB, OB, oh yeah, you just say OB.
As a 7-time All-Canadian, you'd think this name would be inscribed upon a lot of awards. Unfortunately, that is not the case. But he was the leader of the Hogs, the front line that protected so many good backs and quarterbacks. Bill Frank is remembered as one of the great linemen ever to play in the CFL. Bill Frank hails from Denver, Colorado, and came to Canada to play for the BC Lions in 1962. In 1965, he was traded to Toronto. In '68, he was traded to Winnipeg. And there, Bill proved to be a standout over the remaining 10 years of his career. This 6'5", 280-pounder was named an All-Canadian 7 times, taking and dishing out punishment until the ripe age of 38. Early in the career of Bill Frank, the fans remembered him as being very big and strong and powerful and carefree. Bill, do you think that's the way the fans in Winnipeg and Toronto remember you?
I would tend to think so, yes, John. You know, when you're young and really you're not too mature, you tend to overlive and do certain things that you wouldn't normally do. But I enjoyed myself, there's no question about it, and I might have done some things that people would kind of snicker at, but all in all, gee whizzers, you got to grow up.
Your rookie year was 1963. The BC Lions went right to the Grey Cup. You lost the game, but it was a great team. How do you rate that team?
Well, that, of course, was my first real taste of professional football, but gosh, the talents that we had, you know, you had people like Cap and Fleming and Beamer, and we had an offensive line that was just excellent. We had a great big defensive line, and we had a middle linebacker by the name of Brown. Of course, that helped a lot. But just on overall balance, geez, we had an excellent mixture of young people, veterans. It was a good, solid team. Of course, we went on to in '64 to only lose one game and tie one game. So, you know, that just kind of speaks for itself. But I'd have to rate that probably the best team I've ever played on.
Bill, was there anything that happened late in your life or late in your career that changed you at all?
Well, certainly there was, John. The second year before I retired, I was injured. I tore some ligaments and stretched them in my left leg, and that gave me a little time. I had to sit out 8 games, so it gave me a little time to kind of examine myself and what I was doing and where I was going. You know, it kind of really enlightened me, but I think the most important thing that really happened to me was that I accepted the Lord my last 2 years in football, and gosh darn it, he turned me just completely around. New priorities, the whole ball of wax, and really enlightened me and gave me a new life.
Frank could always be called upon to bulldoze his way through defensive lines, opening up holes for his running backs, and his pass protection was near perfect. Bill Frank retired in 1977, putting one of football's longest careers behind him. Today, he's sales manager at Kingsway Toyota in Edmonton. Bill, what memories do you have of those Western Conference linemen? Were they smaller and quicker than you'd been used to in the East?
Well, John, we played a different game in the East. Coming out west and playing, they were as big but a little leaner. So it was a little faster. It seemed like a little faster game. We played a little harder hitting game in the East. I think, you know, more of a, you know, knock them down, drag them out type of game, especially with Hamilton. You can remember those, I imagine. But in the West, a little bit more wide open, a little bit quicker game.
Well, that trade started a 9-year career, a great 9-year career with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. In fact, 1972 might have been the greatest year you ever had.
Well, I appreciate that. We did have an excellent team. Of course, we had Jonas, and we had guys like Pogo, and we had an excellent little running back in Mac Heron. And we had just a super offensive line. Well, we had a good, well-balanced team. We didn't have a real great team in a lot of places, but a real well-balanced team. And offensively, we were really explosive.
How about 1974, when your players named you as the most outstanding player? Was that more important to you than such awards where the writers and broadcasters select outstanding players?
Well, certainly it is, John, because you want to be recognized by your peers, and that's mainly what kind of drives you on as far as what you're doing on the field, because you're trying to establish yourself as an entity and certainly a talent. And when you are recognized by people you're playing against and playing with, yes, I would say it is.
What do you remember most about those 15 years in that front pit?
Really, what I really remember most is the association and the bond that you build with players, and especially linemen. Seem to build a little tighter bond to one another than any other players on the team, because you're in there and you're sweating and you're bleeding with each other and you're helping one another, and gosh darn it, those are the good things that you remember about football, and especially about playing the line.
Bill Frank, the head hog, yesterday in the CFL.
Every player that I know feels good when he makes a contribution to his team. It's the same feeling you get when you give someone a helping hand. And helping hands is what United Way agencies are all about. Helping families, older people, the disabled, and many more, including our young people. I'd like you to meet Andrew. Thanks to Big Brothers, a United Way agency, he's getting a helping hand. Right, little brother?
Right.
Simplicity, that elusive quality Panasonic brings to a complex world. So you can watch what you want, when you want. Make time stand still or move forward. Capture every highlight beautifully and bring all the brilliance of color to life. Take control in a complex world with Panasonic video and color television technology. So advanced, it makes your choice simple.
Now, Perma 3, the antifreeze that gives your car a fighting chance to survive the horrors of winter, gives you a chance to win a brand new car. Right now, get Perma 3 on sale for just $6.99 at Canadian Tire and pick up your entry blank for a chance to win one of 5 Chevrolet Cavalier convertibles or the grand prize, a new Corvette. Protect your present car with Perma 3 and don't miss your chance to win your next car. The winning combination contest from Canadian Tire. Enter before it's too late.
This is the CTV Television Network. This is the third to last weekend in the regular CFL season, and believe me, the playoff heat is intensifying as a result of what happened earlier today at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. A good crowd turned out, nearly 28,000 to watch the Concords and the Calgary Stampeders. The Stamps fell behind early 3-1, and on the final play of the first quarter, quarterback Johnny Evans went to Ron Robinson, 11 yards for the touchdown. Concords led it by a score of 10-1. The defensive star of the game was Harry Skipper of Montreal. Here he intercepts a Quarles pass that was tipped and runs 25 yards to pay dirt, and Concord's lead 17-1 at the half, a half that had 8 turnovers. Early in the third quarter, that man, Harry Skipper again, his third interception, but he's immediately stripped of the ball by Wallace, and Ray Krause recovers for Calgary at the Montreal 2. Bernard Quarles does it himself, taking it in and cutting the Calgary deficit to 20-8. The big moment of the game for Montreal, Kevin Starkey playing for the injured Johnny Evans hits Ron Robinson, a 53-yard advancer, and setting up the climax touchdown. Lester Brown was chosen. He went the right route and went 3 yards for the touchdown. Montreal won at 27-8. They're still alive in the Eastern playoffs, and now the loser of tomorrow's Edmonton-Winnipeg game has a bit of a new life. Looking at the Rothman Stars of last week, the offensive selection, just no doubt about it. Warren Moon of the Eskimos had one of the truly great games in CFL history. 555 yards, 5 touchdowns, putting him over his record 5,000 yards of 1982 as Eskimos beat Montreal by 13. In Hamilton, defensive end Grover Covington, number 77, had 3 sacks. As the Ticats beat Saskatchewan, Covington, the lineman of the week. Over in Calgary, veteran defensive corner Ray Odoms, number 32, a key interception in the late going as Calgary upset BC 25-16. It's Odoms, the defensive star of the week. And, of course, lots of action coming up tomorrow. 2 games that you're going to enjoy. The Ottawa Rough Riders at Toronto. You'll see it on CTV, 1:30 Eastern Time. And at the Winnipeg Stadium, it's the Blue Bombers and their old rivals, the Edmonton Eskimos, in a key game in the Western playoff battle. The CFL on CTV continues in just a moment.
I adore my 64, my Commodore 64. I cook with it, scheme with it, educate the team with it, my Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, count my chips before the hatch with it, my Commodore 64.
64K memory. At a price that will put a computer in every home, business, and school years before anyone ever dreamed.
I adore my 64, my Commodore 64.
Some time ago, Michelin engineers set out to develop a really durable, all-season radio that wouldn't compromise Michelin's standards. We said no. No. And no. And no again. Until we were satisfied, finally, an all-season radio that stands up, the remarkable new Michelin XA4. Michelin standards make all the difference.
Uh-oh, here's one they don't need us for.
Who doesn't need us?
Polaroid. Their new sun camera is $30 less than last year, and you still get a piece of the sun and the light mixer.
Can you still turn bad light into good pictures?
Yep. It's designed for 10 great shots out of 10. Uses 600-speed film.
Swell. For $30 less?
Yep, it'll sell itself.
But somebody has to tell the people about it.
But not both of us.
So that means goodbye.
Call me Chief.
3 generations of police chiefs stalk the same brutal killer. Charlton Heston, Chiefs.
5 weeks from tomorrow, the Grey Cup of 1983 right here in BC Place. And we've got the chairman of the Grey Cup Festival, a former BC Lion president, Jack Farley, with us. Jack, I know that you've been working hard. How are things shaping up?
Al, we're all set for our visitors. We're giving you a little preview of Lotus Land in November. All of the events have been put to bed. Ticket sales are going extremely well. We're starting off on November 22nd on Tuesday. We're going to have a big function here in the stadium at noon. We're going to invite 5,000 fans to attend it. Tuesday night is the big Grey Cup roast. They're going to roast Jake Goddard. On Wednesday is Alberta Day. It's going to be a tribute to our neighbors in Alberta. A lot of events planned. Thursday, of course, the Shenley Awards. Friday is the big Grey Cup dinner. And, of course, Saturday we've got the parade, the pageant on Saturday night, and the game, of course, on Sunday. And all sorts of other events tied in with the big events.
Hey, you know something, Jack? I think it's the toughest ticket in Grey Cup history.
Oh, I understand the scalpers are going to be running rampant if they can get tickets themselves. That's going to be the problem. But the events are just phenomenal. We have a committee of 400 working on it right now, and they've done a tremendous job.
Okay, Jack, congratulations on the work. It's going to be a wonderful week. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the CFL on CTV continues in just a moment.
Hey, Canada.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Now brewed here, it's yours and mine.
Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Canada, welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
Miller High Life, now available at regular beer prices. Canada, welcome to Miller Time.
You take charge, people, taking charge.
You know exactly what you want from your next truck.
Taking charge in your own way. Taking charge with Chevrolet.
Your best buy.
Take charge, people.
84 Chevy S10, standard V6 power or 4-cylinder high efficiency. And now with gutsy diesel. Big choice, down-to-earth Chevy price. 84 Chevy S10.
Price the way you want to pay. You're taking charge with Chevy truck.
What do you call the technology that produces state-of-the-art VCRs? That brings home the distinctive blue screen Diamond Vision with up to 40% truer color? That developed the brightest giant screen TV on the market and the Diamond collection of car stereos? The technology that delivers sophisticated home audio systems, vertical linear tracking turntables, and the remarkable digital audio disc player? The Japanese have a word for it: Mitsubishi.
Princess Daisy.
A successful model, Princess Daisy is haunted by the terrible secret of her past.
During the halftime break here at BC Place Stadium, Lori Nudibus was chosen Miss BC Lion as the Hamilton Tiger Cats kick off to get this third quarter underway. Ray Strong, number 34, on the return. And he gets it out to about the 23-yard line. And that's as far as he's going on that kick return. Wayne Lee, the rookie at the University of Ottawa, making the tackle. Statistically, in the first half, not a lot of offense by either club. BC, of course, with the edge. A lot of defense, though. Turnovers. Big story in that opening 30 minutes. The Lions had 2 defensive touchdowns. The Tiger Cats had 1. The Lions lead it by 11. With Joe Powell quarterbacking BC as Roy DeWald left the ball game with a knee injury late in the second quarter. Little delay to Ray Strong, and the middle opens up. A big gain for Ray Strong to get this second half underway. He's out to the 38-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 yards for the BC Lions.
Excellent blocking by that offensive unit of the Lions. You see Miles, number 51, the left guard, pulling behind center Al Wilson to provide that hole for Strong. But just to update you, if you joined us late, Joe Paopao, with just a few seconds remaining in the first half, threw an interception to allow the Hamilton Ticats to get back in this ball game. You see Strong once again with a good game, very close to another BC Lion first down.
Another draw play as you look at Roy DeWalt on the sidelines now. It looks like he's shaken off that knee injury. He had the ice pack on it for a while near halftime, and I think we'll probably see him if the Lions need to call him back.
Bill, I don't know about you, but it seemed to me to be a very strange call by the BC Lions very late in the first half. You're ahead 21-3. You got a quarterback that hasn't even had a chance to warm up properly. Comes in and with a few seconds left to go, throws it out in the flat. It gives the other guys a chance to get back in the ball game.
There was some discussion going on at halftime around this press box about that call too, wasn't there? A little strange.
It was, and it's been a long time. We've been talking about how long it has been since the Lions have scored an offensive touchdown. We know it's at least 6 quarters of touchdownless football for the Lions offensively. So Paopao picks up the second first down of the third quarter.
You have to go back to the Winnipeg game on Monday, October the 10th, when the Lions defeated the Bombers 30-18. But just offhand, as we have somebody doing the checking for us, I'm not sure when the Lions got an offensive touchdown. It might possibly have been in that fourth quarter of that ball game. But as you say, it's at least 6 quarters now they've gone without scoring offensively a major. First down for the Lions. Joe Paopao at the controls. They're now at their 49-yard line. Lions lead it 21-10. We're in the third quarter at BC Place Stadium. Ray Strong fumbles the ball. John Priestner is there, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats have the 10th turnover of the ball game. John Priestner, number 36, was right on top. I don't think Ray Strong even got the handoff properly from Paopao. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look very quickly at who got that big penetration in there. It would appear to be
Mike Walker, number 61.
Number 61, yes, Walker. You get a much better picture of it right here. Walker knocking the football loose, and the mistakes continue.
10 turnovers tonight, 5 for each club. First down, Hamilton, BC 43. Brock, Johnny Shepard caught in the backfield for a loss on the play. Linebacker Glenn Jackson, number 37, making the stop on Johnny Shepard. Jackson, the 8-year veteran out of Simon Fraser. Western All-Star last year. Second down and 12 for the Tiger Cats. Now outside the BC 45. Brock looking for Johnson. He's got it. JoJo Heath is over there, helped out by Nelson Martin at the 35-36, and they'll be short of the first down by about 2 yards. Bernie Ruoff from the field goal unit comes in. So the fumble by Ray Strong will set up a field goal attempt by Bernie Ruoff.
3 interceptions, as you can see, by Dieter. That makes 8 on the season against the BC Lions.
Young quarterback Jeff Tedford, number 9, holds at the 43-yard line for Ruoff, and he puts it through. So now the score is 21-13 in favor of the BC Lions over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and we'll be back in just a moment.
First came table model video recorders, then the portable. Now the best of both, RCA's new 900 convertible, the most advanced VCR ever. At home, it's a fully featured table model, the first with 5 heads instead of 4. And the only table model that's portable, instantly portable, no cables. So when you leave home, it converts to a complete movie outfit that leaves other VCRs behind.
The RCA 900 convertible. There is no equal.
Putting on the mushroom, Fat Albert. Putting on the cheese, Fat Albert. Putting on all the trimmings, Fat Albert. If you please.
Just an update on Roy DeWalt's injury in the first half. The doctors say it is a bruised knee, and Bill Rochelle tells me chances are good that Roy will get back in tonight's ball game.
That's good news for the Lions as Bertie Ruoff prepares to kick it away following his field goal, cutting the Lion lead to 21-13 here in the third quarter. 12-17 remaining. Ruoff going to the far side. It's Ray Strong from the 15-yard line. He's got the room to go. Strong still on his feet. Flips away from a couple of tackles and brings it back to midfield.
All
Good run
right.
back by Ray Strong, 39 yards.
A little something for the fans here at BC Place to cheer about, and they need something.
You just got some information on the last time when the Lions scored an offensive touchdown.
Yeah, we said it was at least 6 quarters. It's actually been 8. This is the 9th quarter in succession now that the BC Lions offensively have not been able to put the ball in the end zone. And this, quite likely, is the first place ball club in the Western Division of the CFL.
Powell in at quarterback finds Fernandez. And he is stopped, just barely, though, by Mark Young, number 18, first down at the Hamilton 43-yard line. Not being able to put the ball in the end zone offensively is not a good sign for a team that's gearing up for the playoffs and looking to clinch first place tonight and host a playoff game for the first time since '77.
Particularly when you look at what Warren Moon has been doing lately for the Eskimos.
Eskimos, of course, playing Winnipeg tomorrow. Looking for Fernandez. He's got him. Great catch by Fernandez, stopped by Howard Fields. Short of the first down.
You're absolutely right about that catch because that ball had something on it. Powell really delivered that one.
Second-year man out of San Jose State.
Last year's nominee from the West is the outstanding rookie in the CFL, and that's the second or third great catch that Fernandez made tonight. Gain is about 7.
Ray Strong stopped in the backfield. Walker was there, number 61, but the first man to get to him, I believe, was number 66, Mike Barker, the left defensive tackle, and that brings up third down for the Lions.
That's an excellent front four that the Tri-Cats have. 25 sacks on opposing quarterbacks by that front four coming in a nice ball game. With the exception of the first couple of plays of this third quarter, the offensive line of the BC Lions have not been able to handle them. Lou Pasaglia now will try to make it a 24-13 ball game.
This will be a 44-yard attempt with Pankratz doing the holding. Got the distance. And you saw from the end zone camera right through the middle, and the Lions go up by 11 again with 10:25 remaining in the third quarter. 24-13 for the Lions. We'll be right back.
Fletcher, I don't need that report tomorrow.
Great, JT.
I need it tonight.
But, JT...
When Fletcher can't leave the office behind, she appreciates her Model 100 computer from Radio Shack. It's a word processor, phone directory, automatic dialer. It even communicates with the office computer.
Fletcher, how's that report? Fletcher.
Radio Shack's Model 100. Your office away from the office.
You'll go far, Fletcher. You'll go far.
You finally found it. You knew what you had to do. You and your friends worked to see it through. Get it a fly. You had to try and make old plane like new. Make it a Carlsberg. Make it a Carlsberg. Make it a Carlsberg, my friend.
There's their score tonight. Louis Pasaglia with 12 points for the BC Lions tonight and 159, tying his best ever year.
Dale, that's not only a beautiful lady here at BC Place, that is the daughter of the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos, Jackie Parker.
Really?
It certainly is.
Tomorrow afternoon, the CFL on CTV continues with the Toronto Argonauts at home against Ottawa. The Argos going for a chance to clinch first place tomorrow. On the full CTV network, Johnny Shepard takes it out to near the 40-yard line for a gain of close to 5 yards on the play. 24-13 the score in favor of the Lions. Luis Bisaglia, as I mentioned, now 159 points on the season, equaling his best year ever scoring, as he accomplished in 1978. Luis never won a scoring title, but he's leading the league this year. Second down and about 5. Brock looking for DiPietro, and he just flat out missed him as he got a solid hit from behind by Brent Brissett, number 74. Just as he released that football, DiPietro was open.
This did not deliver the football as Brock tried to just find his release man on the outside. 9:35 remains now in this third quarter. It's a 24-13 ball game as Ruoff kicks it away.
Good punt by Bernie Ruoff. Crawford at the 16. Downfield quickly, the Tiger Cats put the stop on him as he actually went down on his own, pinned there by Wayne Lee, number 17. 55-yard kick by Bernie and a return of 6 yards by Larry Crawford. You know, both Ruoff and Bisaglia are creeping up on the all-time leading punters in the CFL. Zenon Andrusician holds the record with 59,333. Bernie Ruoff started the year in 5th place. He's now moved up to 3rd, passing his own general manager, Joe Zuger. Ruoff coming into the ball game tonight with 50,106 yards punting. Bisaglia is in 5th place. Draw to Ray Strong again. Penalty marker goes down. Strong is down at the 25-yard line.
Leonhard, number 54, I believe, will be called for holding on the play. He was working against Mike Walker, 61, in the middle of that line, and it certainly appeared to me that he had grabbed the defensive player.
9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Earlier today, Montreal 27. Calgary 8.
Holding British Columbia number 54.
Concord now just 2 points behind Hamilton in the race for 3rd place. First down and 20. The ball at the BC 12.5. That ball came right over the head of middle linebacker John Priestner, and John Henry White was the intended receiver, and it bounced off his chest. Priestner may have just bothered his concentration enough.
Very difficult to have that big middle linebacker right in front of you when the ball is delivered, but Joe did throw it well, right in the hand. John Henry's an excellent receiver coming out of that backfield. Only had 20 receptions going into tonight's ball game, but he can catch it.
John Henry missed some action this year with an injury. Paul going long for Sammy Green. He kind of curled out towards the sidelines, and Paul threw it a lot deeper than that. Brings up 3rd down, and Bisaglia will have to punt from deep in his own zone. Fans not too pleased with Paul's performance since he came into the ballgame.
Isolated shot on the man that's got the only major score for the Hamilton Ticats, Felix Wright, number 28.
He's got 2 interceptions, one of them for a touchdown, and one prevented a touchdown as he intercepted at the goal line.
That one was kind of easy, wasn't it?
Sure was.
In fact, both of them were right to him.
Bisaglia coming into the ball game with a 50-yard average on the season. Just punt as he gets it away. Fields from the 55. Stopped at the BC 46-yard line. Andre Jones, number 32, was there. A 42-yard punt. A 9-yard return. The Hamilton Tiger Cats with 7:59 left in the third quarter. A very good field position. When we were here in the exhibition season, Frank, you made the statement that Luis Bisaglia should have a great year and should always have a great year when he gets to play half his games indoors and should lead the league in punting, and of course he is doing that very nicely this year.
Well, I think it helps you psychologically as well as physically. You obviously don't have to punt against the wind in here.
Ideal conditions every night. Johnny Shepard takes a little swing pass from Dieter Brock. He's forced out of bounds. Crawford is over there, and Cruz.
I don't know if you heard the humorous little quip that was quoted Don Matthews, the head coach of the BC Lions, was in Sports Illustrated a week or so ago, but he said, you know, when we flipped the coin to figure out what we're doing, we want the air conditioner in our back.
Let's go to Al. Al's talking, but we can't hear him. We'll get back to him in a minute. 2nd down and 8. Ron Johnson, the intended receiver, the ball thrown over his head, and that'll bring up 3rd down. Hamilton unable to move it, even with the fine field position. Well, we're having some microphone troubles over there, Al. We'll get back to you when we get it all sorted out. We'll have Al in conversation with Lou Pasaglia in a moment. It's 3rd down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Bernie Ruoff is in to try a almost a 51-yard field goal. Tedford will do the holding. Hello. It is long enough. It is good. I'll give him a 51-yard field goal, and that gets into the BC lead. It's now 24-16. Let's now go to Al McCann.
Hey, 3rd time lucky,
All right.
Louis Pasaglia, the leading scorer who has already equaled his all-time high. I want to ask you, though, Louis, about that. These two turned into a quarterback on his first half. When did that come into the book?
We saw something on their, when we were scouting during the week, that we could run that on them and surprise them. And it worked for us, but we only got a point out of it. So really, it didn't work out that well.
It was a really cute play. I think it threw their minds for a minute, though.
That was Coach Shivers and Coach Matthews' idea, and they saw it, and it worked perfectly. Who knows, we might try it again.
Hey, congratulations on your year. You kick really well here, don't you, Louis?
Well, you know, the way we're kicking tonight, Bernie's having a good time here. It's just fun playing in this building, not having to worry about the cold, the rain, and the wind. And when you come out here every time knowing the conditions are this good, you can't go out there and do but your best.
You're having a heck of a year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Line drive kickoff goes right to Warner Miles, number 51. This is his 2nd return of the night. He does a good job. All right. 6'2", 245 pounds, out of the University of Ottawa. His first year. And he's getting to do a lot more running than he thought he'd have to tonight.
Yeah, that's a pretty good catch, too.
Sure was.
Watch the big fella go for the open area. All right, Warner puts the ball all the way up to midfield. 6:56 now remains in the 3rd quarter. The Lions are in good shape.
Lions got Warner Miles in a deal with Toronto earlier this year. Rob Powell staying at quarterback, looking for John Henry White. Gets away from the initial tackler, Felix Wright, number 28, and is finally stopped at the Hamilton 53.5-yard line. Over there for the Tiger Cats, Mike Barker, number 66. Grover Covington, number 77, gets up limping. There's 2 or 3 injured Tiger Cats on the play. Also down is Gerald Best, number 14. Covington's back down on his knees.
The Lions have completed an awful lot of passes here this evening, which with very short gain. This is certainly included, as the pickup is only about 2 yards. I think the Ticats hurt each other on that play. It would appear that Bess's head caught Covington in the left leg. Both the Ticats are down as you take a look what's happening to CFL in the next week.
Edmonton playing in Winnipeg tomorrow afternoon. That's a big game between those two clubs. They're currently tied with 8-6 records. And then the Argonauts will be in Edmonton a week from tonight in the game on the full CTV network. Also, Montreal playing at Ottawa, and that's a key ball game for the Concords, as they must keep on winning.
Of course, that Toronto-Edmonton game will be brought to you by our Eastern crew, Pat Marsden, Lee Pedersen, Bill Stevenson.
We'll be in Regina for the BC Lions Saskatchewan Roughriders a week from tomorrow.
You'll see 14 and 77 collide just behind John Henry White.
Bess is now back on his feet. Three-year veteran of the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. He came into the ball game operating with a bit of a hamstring pull.
I think it'll be more like hold up the number of fingers and see if he can still count them right now. Well, the ladies come with high fashion here at BC Place.
2nd down and 8. John Henry White takes it to the Hamilton 48-yard line. He'll be 2 yards short of the first down. Priestner got over there to make the tackle along with Howard Fields, number 16. Saglia comes in again as it's third down and actually 3 yards to go. 6:06 remaining in the third quarter. BC in front 24-16. Being totally dominated by the defenses. Now we have Saglia, as he mentioned, Al McCann moving up for this fake punt. Takes the snap, pitches it to Ray Strong, and he'll be close, but I'm not sure he made it.
Short, I think. I think he's a foot or two short.
Yeah. Worked for them in the first half, but this time Hamilton stops them.
Well, you can see Lou coming running back up there. That destroys the mystery, and the Ticats cover the play pretty well. The fans here feel it's the first down for the Lions.
BC offense has come back on the field. It looks like there might be a penalty on the play. There is. Offside call against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, I don't think they had made it, actually, Dale. So the break for the Lions to retain possession and move it inside the 40-yard line. Let's hear it. Down. Well, I think it's an unsportsmanlike call against the Hamilton Ticats. Al Bruno, the head coach of the Ticats, is saying, what happened? What happened there? Apparently the call is too many men on the field against the Ticats. In any event, it creates a first down for the BC Lions.
The ball is at the Hamilton 38.
Here they come, Joe.
Alpha going deep to Sammy Green. The catch is made inside the 5-yard line by Jacques Chapdelaine, who is laying flat on his back.
Scoreboard here at BC Place says nice catch. It certainly wasn't a great throw. And two receivers almost side by side here. There's something wrong with that pattern, Dale. I don't know who it was, but Sammy Green tips it to Jacques Chapdelaine, and he catches it off his helmet. Now, is that a break?
Sammy Green and Jacques Chapdelaine, first and goal for the BC Lions at the 4-yard line.
Wow, the biggest offensive play is the tip.
It's been that kind of night, hasn't it?
Sure has.
Ray Strong, touchdown.
All right. 8 3/4 later, BC Lions offensively score a major.
That's the first touchdown for Ray Strong in his career with the BC Lions. His second start with the Lions. He spent 5 years in the NFL with Atlanta. He puts it in the end zone, 4 yards out.
You really can't call this a great offensive play. Look at that ball wobble down there. Sammy tips it inside the 5-yard line, and the Lions capitalize on the break.
Joe Paupo leads the Lions to a touchdown, and they are out in front 31-16 with 4.5 minutes remaining third quarter. We're coming right back.
Sharp knows that taking a computer wherever your business takes you can be a hard thing to carry out. So Sharp has invented the PC 1500, the portable computer that goes where you go. It can help you make everything from annual forecasts to 4-color charts and graphs. It's taking a load off the shoulders of Canadian business. The Sharp PC 1500. We replaced 500,000 transistors and diodes with one tiny chip. From Sharp Minds come Sharp products.
5x7, 8x10, 11x14, 16x20. Black's big, beautiful color enlargements are half price right now. More beautiful. Bring your color negatives to Black's enlargement sale and save half price on all color enlargements up to 20x24. Now that's beautiful.
Black's photography.
Ray Strong's
first offensive touchdown in over 2 football games.
Lions beat The Hamilton Tiger Cats 34-20 back on July 30th, and they now lead this one 31-16 with 4:37 remaining in the third quarter. Passaglia, a low line drive kick goes to John Priestner, number 36, the middle linebacker, brings it out to about the 37-yard line. So Priestner has to handle the kickoff return that time. As you look at Ray Strong, number 34, his first touchdown as a Lion. Jeff Tedford has now replaced Dieter Brock at quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tedford, the rookie out of Fresno State. He's 6 feet, 185 pounds. He's only played a little bit this year. He's completed 12 of 24. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This is Johnny Shepard trying the left side behind the blocking of Ross Francis and Paul Palma. Shepard takes it out near the 40. They mark it back now at the 39. It's a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. There's Tedford out of Fresno State.
Well, not unusual for a young quarterback to come in the ball game and start off with a running play or two. Shepard has not been a factor in this ball game running with it. We told you that he had 918 yards rushing coming into this ball game, but Ticats have not been able to do anything really offensively.
Tedford was the Pacific Conference Player of the Year in 1982, and he was an All-American selection as well last year. He's threw for a school record 24 touchdown passes.
All right, well, let's see him put it in the air.
Lions with the big edge and first down. Dieter Brock wasn't able to generate any offense for Hamilton tonight. You'll see what the rookie out of Fresno can do. 2nd down, 7. Comes the blitz. Oh, big rush from Reuben Vaughn. He doesn't quite get there. Andre Jones almost had another turnover. Vaughn helps Tedford up.
Vaughn, number 79, has been quite an addition to the Lions. Bill, he had 14 sacks last year for the LA Raiders.
Hasn't got any yet with the Lions.
Years. No, he hasn't got one.
This is his 3rd game. See Brent Brissett, number 74, being attended to. 2nd-year man out of UBC.
Got to be a very frustrating evening for the Ticats defensive unit. They've really done a good job against the Lions.
Yes, they have. They have pressured their quarterbacks. Good performance out of the Hamilton front four.
The defensive backs have really stayed close to the receivers all night long. Having another offensive meeting on the sideline for the Ticats. Ruoff's going to have to kick it away with 3:37 remaining on the third quarter.
That 57-yarder that Bernie kicked tonight, he out-kicked the coverage team, and Larry Crawford brought it back 34.
Oh, he's another big one.
It's a beauty. At the 18-yard line, JoJo Heath. Reversing his field a couple of times. Got out to about the 24. As far as he's going, a 54-yard kick and a 4-yard return. Roy DeWalt flexing that left knee at the bench. And Joe Paopao will return at quarterback for the Lions. DeWalt went down with the injury late in the second quarter. Mike McIntyre, number 26.
Oh, pretty close to a block from the rear by Bird.
Nelson Martin, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm sorry.
From the 24-yard line, Paopao, as he's done since he's been in the ballgame, except for his very first play, gives to Ray Strong to start the drive, and Strong gets to about the 25, barely a gain of 1 yard. That's Howard Fields, number 16, there to pin him. First, we remind you again that Paopao, replacing DeWalt, his very first play was a pass attempt that was picked off by Felix Wright and returned for a touchdown. That was right at the end of the first half. 2nd down and about 9.5 yards to go for the Lions. Paopao gets hit from behind. It's an incomplete pass as his arm was in motion when he got hit. I believe it was number 61, Mike Walker.
Once again, Dale, I think there's a lack of communication somehow with the receivers on this offensive unit of the Lions. Look how closely they are together. That cannot be a correct pattern. I don't know who's at fault on that particular play, but that is not a good pattern.
They got off lucky a few moments ago when two receivers were close together and Green tipped it to Chapdelaine.
It's been their best offensive play for a while.
Saglia's average is down a little bit, and this won't help it. Moving up to the 50-yard line is Howard Field. He just gets into BC territory, about the 54-yard line. Gerald Roper is there to pin him, along with Bernie Glier, number 7. So the Tiger Cats get the football, and they're in BC territory with 2:02 remaining third quarter. That punt by Passaglia traveling just 35 yards. The return of 5 by Fields. Jeff Tedford is in at quarterback for Hamilton, replacing Dieter Brock. This will be the second series for Tedford. Good protection. Pressure from behind. Unloads it to Bragagnola, and he's hit after a gain of a yard. Rick Klassen, number 60, moving over from that defensive end spot. Bring Bragagnola down. 2nd and 9 for Hamilton. Rick Klassen, number 60, from Simon Fraser, 3-year veteran.
They finally get pretty good pressure on the young quarterback, as you see. Completion only gains 2 yards.
Second down, the draw to Johnny Shepard, and Glenn Jackson is there to up it out right at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up third down, and Bernie Ruoff leads the punting unit on once more. So, 2 series for Tedford, unable to move the Hamilton offense, not having any more success than Dieter Brock did. We're into the last minute here in the third quarter. Ruoff beating his season average is punting tonight. Hangs it high. Crawford, 6-yard line. Tom Vetro, number 27, got downfield quickly to make the tackle on Crawford as he brings it out across the 15 to about the 17. 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. BC out in front by 15 over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Lions, will remind you again, a win tonight would clinch first place. It'd be the first time since 1964. The BC Lion team has finished first. Of course, they won their only Grey Cup that year. 1977, they did finish at 10-6, tied with Edmonton and Winnipeg, but the Eskimos got first place, and BC had to settle for second. That's the last year that the Lions hosted a playoff game. Ray Strong again. This time he was following the blocking of John Henry White, and he takes it out to the 25 for a gain of 8 yards.
Strong, the biggest factor in the running game for either ball club here tonight. One of the reasons is John Henry White. He knocks him down when he leads you through the hole.
John Priestner, the man that White took on that time. Priestner did play off the block a little bit and got back to make the tackle.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the importance of finishing first and getting the bye and so forth, but there are some people that feel that it's at a disadvantage. If the Lions tie up first place tonight, they do not have a game that means anything in the standings or playoff picture until November the 20th, of course, the Western Final. And that's a long time between games that mean anything.
You're right about that, but of course the Eskimos have gone through that the past few years, and to get that game at home, it's most important. Ray Strong on 2nd down and 2, and he has more than enough for the first. He's out to the 33-yard line. The gun sounds to end the third quarter here at BC Place Stadium. The Lions leading the Tiger Cats 31-16. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
So free and slip through the air. You're in your plane, you restored with a lot of care. Friends took their time and it turned out fine. Now there's plenty of good times to share. Make it a Carlsberg, make it a Carlsberg, make it a Carlsberg, my
If you own ColecoVision, you already own a powerful state-of-the-art computer that gives you the arcade experience with the newest arcade games like Donkey Kong Jr., Looping, Pepper 2, Time Pilot, Mr. Do, Space Fury, Frontline, arcade controls like Turbo, the Roller Controller, and new Super Action Sports. And soon you'll plug in Atom, the revolutionary ColecoVision family computer module with new super games, keyboard, and printer. ColecoVision, the only system you'll ever need.
Now, there's a daily interest checking account with an unbeatable combination of features. The Commerce Combination Account.
That's right, Ann. In addition to combining no-charge checking and daily interest paid monthly, it now gives you 3 record-keeping options. A choice of a passbook or a descriptive monthly statement. Or you can have your canceled checks returned. So come in and open a combination account.
It's only at the Commerce.
You can count on the Commerce.
We're back. Fourth quarter action. BC Place Stadium. The Lions first and 10 from their 33-yard line. Dale Isaac with Frank Rigney and Al McCann. Joe Powell hands off to Ray Strong, number 34. He takes it straight up the middle. And he's stopped by Leo Ezrins, number 72, after a gain of 4 yards.
Strong up to about 85 yards rushing the football now as you take a look at the three-quarter statistical story. A very, very poor performance by the Hamilton Ticats on offense. 81 yards total.
One stat that isn't on there is turnovers, and we've had 10 of them tonight. Powell looking for DeBries, and he's got him first down at the Hamilton 40-yard line.
Good throw by Joe, who sat right back in that pocket, had a lot of time to throw the football, and found his receiver down the middle. 32-yard gain. All right, this is the best offensive play we've seen for a long time. Good delivery by Powell.
It's one that was meant to be played that way, right?
Exactly.
43,513, the attendance here in Vancouver tonight. Draw play to Strong, the middle opens up for him, and he's to the 30-yard line of Hamilton and should have another first down. Making the tackle for the Tiger Cats, Neil Evans, number 33, first-year man of the University of Toronto.
Well, Strong in his first start last week to the BC Lions gained only 14 yards in 4 attempts. But look at that. Good chance to go over that 100-yard mark.
Covington is out of the ball game for Hamilton. David Sauve, number 58, is now lined up along that front 4. Here's Darren Lyons. Ray Strong again. That offensive line for BC that time just pushed Hamilton back, and he's got a gain of 5 yards, moving it to the 25.
Here's a good look at our broadcast location. It is certainly a pleasure to sit here in shirt sleeves in the late fall in Canadian Football League.
Gives you a good idea of the excellent location we have at this stadium. Second down and 4 from the Hamilton 24. Looking for Fernandez. He's got him inside the 20. First down. One-on-one against Mark Young, and number 18 does a superb job of stopping Fernandez at about the 17.
Fernandez just a little bit upset with himself. He knows that he faked a few too many times before going up the field with that football. Good job by Young.
Mark Young is now playing in that corner spot in place of Gerald Best, who is on the bench with an injury. To mention, Covington's out of the ball game. Hamilton getting beat up here tonight. Ray Strong again. He's to about the 12-yard line for a gain of 5. Mike Barker, number 66, tripped him up as he went across the line of scrimmage.
Good block by John Henry White and Ed Katavakis, number 39 now in the lineup.
Katavakis is that linebacker replacing Mark Young, who goes from that linebacker or rover position to the corner in place of Gerald Best. Sauve is in the ball game in place of Covington.
Good offensive drive this time, engineered by that man, Joe Powell.
Second down and 5. Looking for Fernandez, little too far. It's a little bit too much on it that time by Powell. Fernandez had beaten his man.
This is very close to a perfect throw, just over the outstretched hand of Merv. Once again, we'll see Lou Passaglia come into the ball game.
Leo Ezrins had some pressure on Paopao, and he had to put the ball up in a hurry and throw it a little bit higher than I think he wanted it to.
He needed to float that ball a little more, Dale. Loft it some.
Passaglia is in to try a field goal, enjoying his best season ever in the Canadian Football League. The 8-year veteran out of Simon Fraser. This will be a 19-yard attempt. There's a penalty flag down. Hamilton jumped offside.
Well, I do not think that will give the Lions a first down. It'll be awfully close, though.
Offside against Hamilton. They may ask him to measure this one out to see if it would give them a first down or not. It's 3rd down and 5. Passaglia discussing the situation with the head referee, Jim Hope Ross. Offense comes back in. It'll be 3rd down and short yardage now. So take away the field goal by Passaglia. Still 31-16. They move the ball to the Hamilton 7-yard line.
Offside, Hamilton number 20.
It's 3rd down. Possibly a foot to go, if that much. I doubt if it's that much. John Henry White, Ray Strong line up in the eye. White is the tailback. Paopao keeps. He should have enough for the first. Looks like he got to close to the 6-yard line, which would be more than enough for the first down. Crazy George trying to stir things up here in the stadium once more.
You look at the crazy one, and then you look at the surge by that offensive line of the Lions. They are going to major. It certainly appears that Paopao picked up the first down, and John Matthews looks unconcerned about it all at the moment. Closer than I thought, Dale, but he does get the first down. Ball marked just outside of the 6-yard line.
1st and goal for the BC Lions. 10:39 remaining in the 4th quarter. BC out in front by 15. In a game that's been dominated by the big plays from the defense. Turnovers. 10 of them so far. 3 turnovers have been returned for touchdowns. 2 by the Lions, 1 by Hamilton. Ray Strong broke the tackle at the line of scrimmage of Mike Walker, number 61, and he got to the 1-yard line.
Well, you're absolutely right. Mike Walker at 245 pounds met Strong right at the line of scrimmage. Watch him. Walker's number 61. Boom. That's pretty good contact. And Strong shows that he is. I didn't even get a giggle out of you with that one, eh?
I was just checking some stats on Ray Strong, Frank. I mentioned before, 5 years in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons, a total of 61 games. This is his 2nd start for the Lions. Strong over the top.
Up and over. Ray Strong scoring his 2nd touchdown of this football game. That should put it away for the BC Lions as they go ahead 37-16 with just 9:35 remaining now. A first-place finish for the BC Lions is imminent.
That's the stat that I think Don Matthews did. That in the length of that drive, and Paopao, of course, ending the drive by getting the touchdown from Ray Strong, as Passaglia converts it. We have 9:35 remaining in the 4th quarter, 38-16 in favor of the Lions over the Tiger Cats, and we'll be back in a moment.
Have no illusions about the shape of things to come. There's a new generation of Buicks out there. The young Buicks. Consider Buick Skyhawk. Performance and sophistication in elegant formation. Buick Skylark. Contemplate its high-spirited combination of economy and luxury. Let your imagination run free with the wind-sculptured form and high technology of Buick Century. This new generation of Buicks employs robotics and electronic scanning for precise fit and finish. They feature new fuel injection and turbocharging. The 1984 Buicks. The young Buicks.
Ray Strong has just scored his second touchdown of the night for the Lions, and they lead it over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 38-16. And Crazy George has the fans going again here at BC Place Stadium as Bisaglia prepares to kick off. Section by section they go right around this beautiful stadium. Bisaglia along the turf. Priestner can't find the handle this time, and it's picked up by Graffy, number 32, and he is stopped at about the 31-yard line. Dave Graffy. Let's go to Al.
Okay, the guy who was the whole story in that last drive, Raymond Strong. Raymond, you're having a heck of a game. Your whole team is trying to really put it together.
Yeah, you know, I think we got our confidence back. You know, we haven't scored for a few games, and we decided we was going to go out and try to execute on that drive and just try to play ball control, and it worked out, and we got a score.
I think that might have locked it up first place at all. Is that why you grabbed the football?
That's why I grabbed it. That's what we're looking for, first place, so we can get all that pressure off of us. Now we're just going to go back and work hard for these next 2 weeks and try to get ready for that playoffs.
Congratulations, Ray.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Tough spot for the rookie quarterback Jeff Tedford to be in. Pass is incomplete, trying to hit Rocky DiPietro, and he was hit immediately just as the ball arrived. There's an injured Lion on the play. It looks like Larry Crawford possibly is down on the play. Here it is again.
Good timing on the hit, Dale.
It is Crawford.
Crawford definitely is the Lion down on the field as he tried to take a shot at Rocky DiPietro.
He didn't get in position for the tackle. The score is 38-16, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I'm talking state of the art.
I tried, sir.
Voila. You got your teletype, courier, mail, the whole shebang.
Envoy 100 service gives me all that. Now anybody with a phone can also have electronic mail service using their existing hardware. Just call 1-800-361-3050 for a free Envoy 100 booklet. What's this do?
We're not sure. Envoy 100, the electronic messaging service.
When Apple invented the personal computer, we were all alone in the world. But soon it seemed that everybody was trying to build a better Apple. Well, somebody finally did. Lisa from Apple. So advanced it puts us right back where we started. Alone again. Soon there'll be just two kinds of people. Those who use computers and those who use apples.
Well, we're back, and Crazy George just has this place in pandemonium right now. They just don't want to quit.
Still, all of a sudden, in a ball game that had no offense for the first 3 quarters or close to it, the Lions starting to put it together offensively, and these people want something to cheer about. I'm not sure. I think they'd be cheering anyway. They're very, very happy with their BC Lions right now.
Hamilton second down and 10 from their own 33. Jeff Tedford under pressure finds Bragagnola, and he is cut down immediately by Kevin Conner, number 31. About a yard short of the first down, and that one hurt.
I think what happened there is Kevin Conner came in and hit Bragagnola. He missed his thigh pad, and quite possibly he's going to have a bruised thigh muscle. Still, it's always a lot of fun doing these ball games, and we'd like to say hello to a very famous Canadian down south if he's watching across the ESPN network, and that's, of course, Jimmy Nelford. His father, Terry, is joined us here in the broadcast booth tonight. We'd like to say congratulations to Jimmy and Dave Barr as well, as they will represent Canada in the World Cup matches next month in Jakarta. Jim's had a great career. Of course, both of those Canadian golfers are from right here in Vancouver.
Fine golfers they are. Coming up next weekend, CFL on CTV. The Argos and the Eskimos, the Saturday night game. The Lions and the Rough Riders from Taylor Field, a Sunday afternoon game, both on the full CTV network.
I think the fans here at BC Place are giving themselves a standing ovation. You can see up at the scoreboard, the Lion fans are the greatest. I'll tell you, it helps when you win, too.
And think how noisy they'll be come Western final time.
They certainly can make a difference as you look at the time of possession, and the difference tonight with the Lions holding the big edge.
The noise is just awesome down here at field level. I don't know how the quarterbacks can call signals.
It's 3rd down and 1 for Hamilton from their 42-yard line. This is going to be tough on Tedford. He just follows Henry Waszczuk, and he should have enough for the first down. It is.
That quiets him down pretty quick. 8:16 remaining in this ball game now. A 38-16 lead by that man's troop, Don Matthews, in his maiden season with the BC Lions.
And the most points the Lions have scored in a single game this year is 44. They did it on 2 occasions. Tedford intercepted. Larry Crawford, the league's leading interceptor, as number 10 for the season.
Dale Keith Baker was wide open, 10 yards behind the BC Lion defensive backfield. See if you can pick it up in the right top of your screen. Keith Baker, number 1. He's just going right by Larry Crawford, and the ball just delivered to the BC Lion defensive back. He graciously accepts it and steps out of bounds at the 55-yard or the 50-yard line. Look at the turnover.
11th turnover of the ball game. First down from the 49 in Hamilton territory. Ray Strong still going. First down, fumbles the ball. It's picked up by the BC Lions. I'm not sure which Lion got to it. Thought I saw Chap Delane in there. Maybe it was, Mark DeBries, I guess. Number 3 got it.
I'll tell you, it's a great second effort by Ray Strong, and it will sometimes happen to you when you get that extra little try in there. He loses the football. It looked like it was grabbed away from him by Katabakis, number 39, the linebacker. But when things are going well for you, they bounce your way.
Almost 130 yards rushing tonight for Ray Strong. First down Lions, Hamilton 30. Gives to John Henry White. John Priestner gets to him along with number 65, Mitchell Price, the defensive end. And White has a gain of 2 or 3 yards. 6.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Lions out in front, 38-16. Al Bruno, his second game as head coach for the Tiger Cats after replacing Bud Riley. Man who gave the Lions the football this last occasion, standing by on the far side. We'll be going to Al McCann in a moment. Brock Chapdelaine stepped out of bounds with his back foot at the 14-yard line. It is a first down again for the BC Lions. Let's go to Al.
Okay, Larry Crawford, his 10th interception of the season. What a year you're having, Larry. I think you had a hunch that for sure sealed it up.
Well, you know, I read the pattern pretty good. Kerry did a good job finding Baker. Just lucky, I guess.
I'll tell you, you're really putting it together in time for that Western final anyway.
Well, we're going to try our best, you know. That's the only thing we can do.
Congratulations again on a heck of a season.
Okay, thank you.
Lions are now threatening to make this the biggest scoring output of the year for them. Ray Strong takes the handoff, and more he carries the ball, the harder he runs. He's now inside the 10-yard line at the 9 for a gain of 5. Second and 5. 5.5 minutes remaining.
You know, Dale, talking to Don Matthews about his ball club, he says, when I talk about running backs, he said the most important thing I want is them to be a good pass receiver. The second most important is a good blocker, and the third, a runner with the football. I think he may have all three with this guy.
That's right. He's looked very good. Strong, all alone as he swings out of the backfield. Hamilton reacts quickly. Priestner was there.
Sandy Green down there waving back to Joe Powell. Hey, Joe, I was open.
Mike Barker was there as well, number 66. They put the stop on him at the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Fans here are booing Don's decision to go for a field goal here with 3rd and 4. I don't think it's going to be a factor in the outcome of this game. You're sure of that, are you? I'll go all the way out on the limb and predict that, right?
Lou Pasaglia. 15-yard field goal is good. And now it's a 41-16 ball game in favor of the Lions, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The centipedes are coming. Get your fingers moving fast, and the spiders out to get you. Do you think that you can last? You can shoot him in the middle. He will only break in two. And the fleas are even faster if you look away you're through. See the scorpion a dancing? He can really help you score. But the centipede's immortal, keeps coming back for more. Centipede is from Atari and is faster than a jet. If you're looking for some action, it's the game you gotta get. Centipede.
Reach for Atari.
Carlsberg Light. All right. People here say it's one good beer. Carlsberg Light. All right. Cold as ice. It's one real good beer. Crack a cold one now and see. Why, it's that light, refreshing taste for me. Carlsberg Light. All right. Raise a cheer for good beer.
4:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Peter Brock is on the sidelines, has been for some time now, replaced by Jeff Tedford. Brock wasn't able to get anything going offensively for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Jeff Tedford has it 1st and 10 from the 35, following Lou Pasaglia's field goal. It's 41-16 in favor of the Lions, and they're 4.5 minutes away from clinching first place in the Western Division for the first time since 1964. Ron Johnson hit immediately. Andre Jones, who has a touchdown tonight for the Lions, as he picked up a fumble and ran it back 60 yards for a major, puts the hit on Johnson. It's a loss of 4. 43,513 the attendance tonight. Actually, the Lions, including exhibition games this year, Frank, are averaging around 45,000 per game in this beautiful building.
Well, it's in excess of 20,000 more than they had in attendance during '82, and certainly a welcome sight for the Canadian Football League.
Over the middle to Rocky DiPietro, and Tyrone Cruz, the middle linebacker, has him wrapped up immediately. That was 2nd down and 13. It'll now be 3rd down and about 8. So Bernie Rua comes back into the ball game. DiPietro, the 6-year veteran of the University of Ottawa, and Shenling Winters, the outstanding Canadian last year. Ruoff's punt. Jojo Heath from the 35. Hit by David Sauvé, number 58, at the 40-yard line. That punt by Ruoff traveled 46 yards, a return of 5. And a little slow in getting up for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, number 33, Neil Evans. So Joe Powell comes back onto the field. Al Bruno's record will drop to 1-1 after this ball game. And they will just remain 2 points up on the Montreal Concord in the battle for that final playoff spot in the Eastern Division.
And Montreal is definitely coming on, Neil.
They had 3 very good games against Western Division clubs in a row, beating Saskatchewan, losing to a very hot Warren Moon, the Eskimos, last week, and then beating Calgary today, as you see Strong caught in the backfield for a loss.
I want to remind the fans to stay with us after the ball game for the Carling O'Keefe Sports Game Stars.
Well, the score is 41-16 in favor of the BC Lions, and we're coming back in just a moment.
Take charge, people, taking charge.
You know exactly what you want from your next car.
Taking charge in your own way. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
Your best buy, period.
Take charge, people.
84 Chevy Celebrity, front-wheel drive high-tech, family-size room, family-size fuel economy, gas or diesel, and a price that's down-to-earth Chevrolet. 84 Chevy Celebrity.
Price the way you want to pay. You're taking charge with Chevrolet.
1983 Vanier Cup from Varsity Stadium in Toronto. The best of university football here on CTV. Saturday, November 19th.
The loss was 3 yards. It's second down and 13. Facing the Lions, the ball now at their own 36. We have 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Stay tuned for our Carling O'Keefe Game Stars. Right after the conclusion of this ball game. A reminder that tomorrow afternoon on CTV, it's Ottawa playing in Toronto. Pow replacing Roy DeWalt late in the second quarter when DeWalt received a knee injury. It's a bruised knee. He could come back, but they don't need him. Ray Strong, good move, has a first down. Moore is to the Hamilton 49-yard line. He is really putting on a show tonight.
Quite an offensive night for that young man.
Ray Strong is 27 years of age.
Definitely run with that football, no question about that. He gets it all the way down to the Ticat 50-yard line. He's picked up 132 yards rushing the football. And I think that's a high for 1983 for any back with the BC Lions. 34-yard gain on that pass reception, and he handed to him once again.
5 years with the Atlanta Falcons. Second game with the BC Lions.
I think he has a strong possibility of being the offensive game star, if you'll forgive the pun.
Most people wouldn't have bothered using that. Second down and about 6 yards to go for the Lions. 2 minutes away from clinching first place. Mark DeBrier is unable to hang on to this pass from Joe Paupaou. It was right there. Brings up third down. And it's been a long time between first place finishes for this football club and the fans. 1964.
Well, they've only finished first twice previously in their 29-year history. Of course, 63 when they lost the Grey Cup, and 64 their only Grey Cup win. But the drought is over for the BC Lion fans across the country.
What beautiful timing. Moving into this stadium. After tonight, they'll be 10-4. Louis Bisaglia will try a 52-yard field goal. This would equal his longest of the year if he hits it. Just short.
Well, why would he run that football out of there?
Mark Streeter.
He's going to be very lucky because he's going to get a face mask call against the Lions, but not a good decision by Mark Streeter. You know, one of the bonuses that the Lions got tonight, Dale, in a sense, was the fact that DeWalt did go down with an injury. As long as it's not a serious one, they do need to get Joe Paupaou out there and get some playing time. He has not been on the field much in the last month and a half.
Well, his first play from scrimmage kind of showed that, didn't it?
Sure did. There's Roy DeWalt with his ice bag on his left knee, as you can see. There's Donnie Taylor, number 19, standing by has not had an opportunity to play tonight.
I heard Don Matthews interviewed earlier today, and he talked about if they did clinch first place tonight, that he would probably rest Roy DeWalt for that game next week in Saskatchewan, that DeWalt may not even be on the roster. He would probably dress Joe Paopao.
Major foul, face mask number 4, British Columbia. Major foul, face mask number 20, British Columbia.
Well,
first down.
Two of them grabbing the face mask of Mark Streeter, so he gets off the hook.
That puts the ball out at the 35-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Hamilton with 1:50 remaining. This is Jeff Tedford, the rookie quarterback. Just got the ball away in time, and it was almost caught by an offensive lineman, almost intercepted by a defensive lineman. Finally falls incomplete. Big heat on Jeff Tedford coming from the backside. That was Reuben Vaughn. Hasn't got a sack yet, but he's getting closer all the time.
I'll tell you, he's got some pressures as the coaches talk about. They know that that's almost as important as the sack. Get in that quarterback's face or bother him in that throwing motion, which he certainly did there.
Penalty on the play against Hamilton.
Ineligible receiver, number 69, Hamilton.
A bit of a strange call when the ball was knocked out of his hand and consequently thrown extremely short. That's the fans that are still here. There's quite a few of them who have left BC Place now, assured that their Lions are going to finish first in the Western Division of the CFL.
First down, 20 yards to go, back at the 25. Tedford looking for Dom Vetro, and he got it. Two defenders went up in the air for it, looking for the intercept. And Vetro came down with it. Number 27 has a big first down into the BC 47-yard line.
Kerry Parker back there along with Nelson Martin, I believe. 42-yard gain on the play, and not only is well-deserved by the Ticats after they got beat on a similar tip play from Sammy Green and Jacques Chapdelaine. Kerry Parker's had an outstanding game, too, Dale, I think, in covering receivers deep. He's had nobody get behind him. He should have picked one more off right there.
First down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tedford is quick. And he steps out of bounds after picking up the first down, or very close to it, at the 36-yard line.
Reuben Vaughn can run a little bit, too, for a guy 255 pounds, eh?
He was closing in on the quarterback. It is a first down at the 36. 1:13 left. Tomorrow, it's Ottawa at Toronto on the full CTV network. One other game tomorrow is Edmonton at Winnipeg. Those two clubs tied. Tedford looking for Scott Colley. Knocked away. Nelson Martin was there along with JoJo Heath. Both break it up at the goal line. It's second down.
Young guy's going to have to learn to lead his receivers a little more if he's going to try to throw that ball that deep. The last two occasions, he's come up well short. He's very fortunate he hasn't been picked off.
Tedford's record tonight after replacing Dieter Brock here in the second half. Second down and 10. Penalty marker flies, and they whistle the play down. Looks like he probably took a little too long.
I think it will be a delay of game, Bill. Just 59 seconds remaining now. They may
Time
well...
count violation, number 9, Hamilton, third down.
So the loss of down creates a third down gamble situation for the Ticats. Rocky DiPietro trying to come in the Ticat lineup with some information. He's a little late doing so.
Third down play. Tedford waiting, putting it up. Picked off in the end zone. Is that Larry Crawford with number 2 on the night, number 11 on the season? Yes, sir. That is turnover number 12 tonight. 7 by Hamilton.
And again, the ball badly underthrown. Crawford has led this BC Lion ball club in interceptions in both of the last 2 years. In a rookie year in 1981, he had 8. And last year, he had only 4, but that was good enough to lead the ball club. It's obvious that he's going to lead the ball club in that department for the 3rd year in a row.
Crawford already has a couple of Rothman stars on his helmets, as you see.
From Iowa State in his 3rd year with the BC Lions. Still only 23 years old, though.
Great football player. Pow hands off as the BC Lions take over the football from their own 20-yard line following the intercept in the end zone. John Henry White was the ball carrier. The Lions, into the last minute of play now, will improve their record to 10-4, 20 points, clinching first place in the West. Tomorrow, the Argos hope to do the same thing as they're at home against Ottawa in the East. There's John Henry again, following a block of Ray Strong, and he got a good one on Mark Streeter, and it's a first down for White as he takes it to the 31-yard line.
And John Henry says, well, Ray, it's about time you blocked for me.
Been a good night for Ray Strong. Seconds remaining. That BC Lion bench just waiting to erupt now. They're pretty excited about this first place clinching here tonight. Here's John Henry White again. Tripped up in the backfield by Ed Gadavakis, then he got back to the line of scrimmage. Sauve, number 58, in on the stop. Gain of possibly a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 with 22 seconds on the clock. Al Bruno now 1-1 as head coach of the Tiger Cats. And next weekend, the Hamilton Tiger Cats will be at home against the Calgary Stampeders. And then they close out the season in Montreal.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting talking to Al yesterday. He said the BC Lions, he thinks, are a great football club, but they probably should run the football a little more. They must have hurt him. They've certainly done that tonight.
This is the final play of the ball game, and Don Matthews, the rookie head coach of the BC Lions, extremely happy. His club has clinched first place.
And Don Matthews is signaling to Joe Papa that he wants that football. Look at him. He's handing it to him.
You know the coach is very pleased with the performance of Papa after that first pass he threw.
No question about that.
First time since 1976 that somebody else has won first place in the West other than the Edmonton Eskimos.
41-16 as the BC Lions defensive unit really held them in the football game until they could finally get things going.
And so with the final score, the BC Lions 41, the Hamilton Tiger Cats 16, the CFL on CTV will continue in a moment.
Wow, Stanley Garage door opener's got solid state, like a computer. Is that why you got it?
Yes.
Oh, that's part of it.
Direct gear drive. No belts or pulleys to wear out.
Of course.
That's part of it.
Digital transmitter sets our own code.
That's part of it.
Come on, Mom. Why'd you buy it?
It's a Stanley. We knew we could do it ourselves.
Introducing the Stanley Digital Entry System, the ultimate in convenience and security. Yours now direct from Stanley for just $19.95. When you buy a Stanley, you install opener.
Whoa, I never. Swiss Chalet chicken?
Never had it from Gulf.
Swiss Chalet from Gulf?
Never.
2-quarter chicken dinners
Never had such a deal.
for $5.92.
Yours from Gulf. A coupon for 2.
Chicken fries.
Never had such a deal.
Only $5.92 for 2?
Great chicken.
Great deal.
Swiss Chalet coupons from Gulf.
I can see it.
Wrong.
I can feel
ultra-thin foil, platinum coated, smooth and close, and only Braun has it. If you don't believe there's a difference, shave with your rotary. Then shave right away with Braun. You can hear Braun cutting the stubble you left behind.
I can hear it.
You can sense the Braun difference.
I can see it and feel it and hear it now.
Up until now, there's only been the two of you, and you pretty much take care of one another. But now, there's a new person in your lives, a new responsibility. We have the protective instinct, too, about life and security and the future. And that's what life insurance is all about.
Life is a mutual affair.
Talk it over with your Mutual Life of Canada agent.
1984 Miss Canada pageant with Jim Perry and Dominique Dufour saluting the women of Canada. A live CTV special Monday, November 7th.
And now, Carling O'Keefe Sports presents the offensive and defensive Game Stars.
With a tremendous effort running the football as well as catching it. Ray Strong, 140 yards on the ground, is our offensive star of the game. And Terry Parker led a defensive squad that picked off 5 Hamilton Ticat passes. Those are your Carling O'Keefe Sports Game Stars for the Steamies ball game. The CFL on CTV will continue in just a moment.
Carlsberg Light. All right. People here say it's one good beer. Carlsberg Light. All right. Cold as ice. It's one real good beer. Crack a cold one and you'll see why it's the light, refreshing taste for me. Carlsberg Light. All right. Raise a cheer for good beer.
This game brought to you by Carling O'Keefe, brewers of OV, the Carlsberg family, and Miller High Life.
The Canadian Football Hall of Fame, a tribute to the men who have made Canadian football the great sport we know today. Next time you're in Hamilton, be sure to visit this national shrine to Canadian professional football. The noise is finally abating at BC Place, and a very impressive 41-16 victory for the BC Lions, who clinch first place in the West. And of course, with Hamilton losing, it means the Montreal Concords are still alive in the East, and it sets up that big game that they'll have against each other in 2 weeks' time. Ottawa at Toronto tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern Time, full CTV network. That, too, should be a very interesting game. The Ottawa Rough Riders are trying to get themselves ready for the playoffs. 41-16 for the Lions, and BC, for the first time since 1964, lock up first place in the CFL West. The CFL on CTV is copyright, strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or rebroadcast without permission is prohibited.
This is the CTV Television Network.
An elegant affair. A European-style chocolate mint. A unique shape. An honest mistake. Ovation chocolate mint sticks. So delicious you'll fall in love with them.
If you have fond memories of those muscle cars of the past, cars that were virtually legislated off the highways, take heart. There's a new car that automotive writers have called a blast. Spectacular. Stepping on the gas, they say, is like cutting in an afterburner. It's a car that can blast a V8 right off the road. The car, the Turbo by Volvo. It'll blow the past right out of your mind.
Dear Mr. Plimpton, I'd like to get an Intellivision like my friends. And I'd really like an IntelliVoice module, too. But aren't they expensive?
Dear Henry, I have good news for you. First of all, the people at Mattel Electronics have drastically reduced the size and the price of Intellivision. Secondly, if you buy your Intellivision between now and October 31st, you'll get an Intellivoice module by mail at no extra charge. 2 great reasons to buy Intellivision now.
The new recruit, mon capitaine. Papers? A passport? A driver's license? She's beautiful. Too bad. Visa card? Visa.
Better hold on to this, mon ami.
Wherever you go, they probably take Visa. The world's most accepted card.
This is CJOH Television, Cable 7 in Ottawa, Hull.
The CTV National News with Richard Brown.
Good evening. There has been a huge bomb explosion in Beirut, completely destroying the building used by the French peacekeeping troops. Ambulances have been rushed to the building and a massive rescue operation is underway. So far, the bodies of at least 8 French soldiers have been removed from the debris, and Beirut Radio says many more bodies are expected to be found. It is the worst terrorist action against the peacekeeping force since it has been in Lebanon. So far, there has been no official reaction to the news from the French government. Meanwhile, it has been International Disarmament Day today across Canada, across Europe, and right across the world. Thousands of people have marched in protest against the nuclear missile confrontation. Here in Canada, the target has been one missile that will soon be flashing across Canadian skies. Bodine Williams has this report.
18,000 people marched through downtown Toronto. They marched for peace and because they still believe it's not too late to stop cruise missile tests in Canada. Much of their anger is centered on American President Ronald Reagan because of the cruise agreement and Reagan's hardline anti-Soviet policy. And they are critical of Prime Minister Trudeau for what they say are his inconsistencies on the nuclear arms issue. It was an orderly, almost subdued demonstration. At Queen's Park, they met up with 300 pro-cruise demonstrators who warned that it's the Soviets, not the Americans, who are our enemies. But the traffic and the police kept the two sides apart. Then the demonstrators settled in for an afternoon of music and speeches. The most familiar theme, that politicians must listen to the protesters who are not on the fringe, but at the center of public concern. Labor leader Grace Hartman summed it up.
Let us renew our resolve to end the obscene waste and madness of the nuclear arsenal buildup. Let us continue and intensify our efforts to convince our elected representatives that they should join us and work with us instead of against us and against world peace.
And the same message was being sent from cities and towns all across Canada. In Ottawa, 4,000 people gathered on Parliament Hill. Organizers had predicted a turnout of 15,000. In Vancouver, more than 10,000 people demonstrated there, a big drop from the 60,000 which attended the peace rally last spring. In Montreal, the turnout was larger than expected. 10,000 people gathered to show support for Disarmament Day. They linked arms, joining the U.S. and Soviet consuls. Hundreds of people walked for peace in Winnipeg, where in a few days that city holds a referendum on world disarmament. In Saskatoon, bells, a symbol of peace, rang throughout the day. About 1,500 people marched to protest the testing of cruise missiles in that province. The tests are scheduled to begin in January, and anti-cruise organizers say there will be many more protests and demonstrations before then. Bodine Williams, CTV News, Toronto.
There were far more massive demonstrations today in Western Europe, all of them aimed at blocking the planned deployment of U.S. cruise and Pershing II missiles. In West Germany, more than 1 million people turned out in the major cities. Their banners and slogans reflected German fears that their territory could be the main battlefield in the event of a European nuclear war. And in London, another big demonstration completely paralyzed the inner city. Bob Ireland reports.
From London's Thames Embankment, marchers 150,000 strong, the biggest protest in London since Vietnam. They marched past government offices in Whitehall. The death's head figures symbolizing their common fear of nuclear weapons, and the Thatcher government's plan to place U.S. cruise missiles in this country. There were punks, fops, children, ordinary people, and old soldiers, each with his own reason for marching.
Why? Because I don't believe in wars, having fought in one.
From all walks of life they came, past the heavily guarded Prime Minister's residence in Downing Street, different persuasions and different faiths. and some just for fun.
We want to bring the world to pieces. To peace.
At Trafalgar Square, a pro-nuclear group blared patriotic music and speeches at the demonstrators. 3 hours after the first marchers set out, the last left the start. Past the Parliament buildings at Westminster, into Hyde Park, where police estimated the crowd at up to 200,000.
Perfect example, genocide is again.
The crowd listened to condemnations of the plan to deploy nuclear weapons in Europe. Sources in Whitehall were quoted this morning as saying that the first U.S. cruise missiles would arrive at Greenham Common Air Base November 1st. That could trigger an increase in demonstrations. There will be a massive increase in security there. Whitehall doesn't fear so much the demonstrators, but the danger that U.S. troops stationed there could fire back under rules to protect U.S. nuclear weapons. Bob Ireland, CTV News, London.
There were anti-missile protests across